cleanly by Devin McEwen. He'll get ahead of steam, and he will make his way into the territory, and he's gone. Touchdown for the score.
Good evening, Jacksonville fans. Welcome to Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse, where the Fighting Indians are getting ready to square off with local rivals, the Whitehouse Wildcats, here in Week 2. Both clubs coming in with 0-1 records. Aaron Swink, Todd Travis, Ryan Travis, and of course, down on the field, Matt Montgomery here with you live on JISD Live. Matt, it's the Indians and the Wildcats. It's always a lot of fun, a big rivalry, obviously non-district now, but a big game and a good marker for these Indians to kind of figure out where they are early in the season after really what was a good competitive ball game last week.
Last week was, I'm not going to say that it was a total surprise, but I've told Coach Holman this. I've been very public about this. If Sulphur Springs would have scored 45 or 50 points last week, I would not have been surprised. They are that good. And, man, Jacksonville just played a heck of a football game, and they were in it tooth and nail. Didn't get some calls at the end of the ball game. They had the fumble that wasn't a fumble into the end zone, so that hurt them. But, yeah, it's going to be a real test tonight. Last week, Whitehouse, they went on the road and played 6A North Forney. They lost 55-33. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But that it is a rivalry game, and you have two teams this close that were in the same district for so long. But actually, Aaron, when you look at historically and you consider some of the rivalries Jacksonville's had over the years with Henderson and Palestine and folks like that, where, you know, you've played those guys 80 and 75 and 80 times already. Well, this is the 32nd meeting between Jacksonville and Whitehouse. And the first time they met, I got a little trivia here, the first time they met was 1988. I mean, you would have thought they would have played sooner than that, but Whitehouse didn't grow. They weren't big enough. So it was 1988 when Jacksonville played Whitehouse for the first time. Jacksonville won that game 56-0. And guess who was one of the starting linebackers in that game?
I know you're going to tell me.
Jacksonville head coach Jason Holman.
How about that?
Yeah, so he was on the team that played Whitehouse for the first time. So Whitehouse is in District 8 5A Division II, which is Jacksonville's old district. That Jacksonville was the only team that left that district at the 5A level. And, of course, Jacksonville at 9 4A Division I. Whitehouse is Tom Westerberg. This is his third year in Whitehouse, and a lot of people around here are expecting big things from this Wildcat team. Last year's team went 8-3, a kind of a surprise. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year. Well, when you go 8-3, that takes that off the table, and they have 25 lettermen back, 37 seniors. They have 7 offensive starters back, most notably their quarterback, Josh Green. We'll talk more about him in a few minutes. Jacksonville, on the other side of the coin, they 3 offensive starters back from last year, and, man, they just played so well last week, Aaron. And you'll hear Coach Holman on the Smoke Signal show here in a few minutes talk about, man, you just don't know what you're going to get when you have only 3 offensive starters back. They had 6 defensive starters coming back, so you kind of know a little bit there. But 3 offensive, man, you don't even sure if you're going to be able to move the ball yet. And, boy, did they ever. Jacksonville outgained Sulphur Springs in total yards, ran for 155 yards with 3 different ball carries, and Brady threw for 225 and a couple of scores. Real nice outing for Jacksonville in that opening game against Sulphur.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brady got into the position where he had to push a little bit late in the ball game, had that interception. But, yeah, I mean, that kind of the one blemish on a stat sheet or stat line for Brady McCowan in his first varsity ball game that is really pretty impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. And, his stats don't really reflect how well he threw the football last week.
And
he had 5 drops
as well. Yeah,
he had 5 drops. So you add those 5 drops to his stat line, and instead of 16 of 32, he's 21 of 32, and maybe for over 300 yards based on where those drops were. And I'm not, we're getting into these statistics right here because, as I said a moment ago, to reiterate, you don't know what you're going to get. That was Brady's first start on the varsity. The lineman had one guy, Dakota Whitley was the only guy that had experience coming back on that offensive line. And I got to tell you, they did a fantastic job to the offensive line, zone blocking and getting that 3-headed monster of running backs for Jacksonville, getting those guys in some space. And by the way, Jacksonville's going to be a four-headed monster tonight because they're getting Gaskin back. Gaskins will be back, and so he didn't get to play last week, so he's another solid running back for Jacksonville.
Yeah, and the Jacksonville running backs, we talked about this on the way over here, and I think I may be stepping on Coach Holman's lines and smoke signals a little bit, but that four-headed monster, as you called it, is going to be very critical to Jacksonville if they're going to control the ball tonight.
That's the key. I just had a chance to talk to offensive coordinator Jason McClendon, and he said that it's going to be tough. Whitehouse, if you have two running backs in the backfield, Jacksonville doesn't really do that. Sometimes they do have the H-back back there, Ryan Walker. If they have two backs, they're going to have 7 in the box. If you have one running back, they're going to have 6 in the box. That means you don't have enough people to block those guys up front. What does that mean for the passing game for Jacksonville? Hey, you got a chance to light it up because they're going to play press coverage. Cover 1 is what it's called, and they're going to be all up in your face. The Jacksonville's receivers, you get by them, then you can have some big things happen. That's what happened last week against North Forney when their quarterback was 7 of 9 for 355 yards. That tells you right there that press coverage didn't work so well for Whitehouse. But last night at the freshman and JV games, both those squads for Whitehouse played press coverage, and I'm sure we'll see that tonight with the Varsity. So it's going to be, to me, in my opinion, it's going to be a big part of Jacksonville offensively to be able to control the football running. Let's switch over and talk about Jacksonville defensively and what they got to do, Aaron. Whitehouse scored 33 points last week. They had a solid offensive showing. Their defense just was unable to stop North Forney. You score 33 points in a ball game, you would think you'd have a chance to be in the game and win. That wasn't the case. And so defensively for Jacksonville, man, they've got to stop the run. I mean, it's a spread offense that Whitehouse has with Josh Green, the quarterback, but they run the ball a lot. And their receivers aren't as good, and maybe I shouldn't say that too loud. They're not as good as they were last year. Of course, one of them went to Oregon State, so that tells you there. So they maybe not be as talented out there at receiver, but they're serviceable. And Josh Green, he can throw the football. He is the preseason pick to be the 8-5A Division II Player of the Year in that district. And, of course, that district has Texas High, Marshall, NAC, those guys. So that's a pretty big compliment to Josh Green, a senior.
So Jacksonville getting ready to go here with Whitehouse. Want to take this opportunity, Matt, to make sure that we thank our sponsors for the countdown to kickoff as they help us get online every week.
Yeah, Micah Hoffpower and Texas Farm Bureau sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff. Micah's been a sponsor for a while with us now, and we appreciate him so much for all your life insurance, auto insurance, homeowners, any kind of insurance needs like that. Call Micah Hoffpower. He can get it done for you, and we appreciate him sponsoring this part of the countdown to kickoff.
Yeah, and if you need to learn how to hit a curveball, I think he's got you covered as well.
He can do that too. Absolutely.
Former big leaguer, of course, Micah, JHS class of 98.
Going back to Jacksonville offensively, we're talking about players that really stepped up last week offensively. Of course, as expected, Jermaine Taylor had 7 catches, 2 touchdown catches as well. He has 3 Division I offers, and he's a guy that Whitehouse is going to have to try to shut down. That means your other receivers have got to step up. Jacksonville will be without the services of Brendan Richards, one of their receivers. He should be back next week in Crandall. So he tweaked his knee last week, so he should be back. But you got to have some other receivers that have got to step up, and because after the experiences that we've had with Devin McEwen, the all-time leading receiver for Jacksonville, starting his mid of his junior year, everybody started double teaming him. I think Jermaine may see some of that as well. So the other guys got to step up and catch the football. That was the big thing last week. A lot of drops that the first game, some of the guys first. I'm not, running them down or anything, but when your first game in the varsity, there's a little bit of those jitters a little bit, and hopefully they got those out last week and they'll catch the ball tonight.
Yeah, obviously that's kind of one of the unknowns. Of course, there are a lot of unknowns going into that first week of the season, but guys, especially guys that are making their first varsity starts, and you're at home last week at Tomato Bowl, and sometimes I think to hit the road, Matt, is sometimes is kind of a blessing for those guys, because maybe you feel a little less pressure, even though, you're here. We talk about a rivalry, you talk about Whitehouse, but maybe this gives you a chance now with a game under your belt to come away from maybe the expectations that you would feel at home and kind of get settled into your positions and see where you can put some things together.
Well, former head coach Danny Long, he was in my office this week. He's back in town. He's working over at Jacksonville College now and out of retirement, out of the regular school business. We were talking about things, and of course Danny Long said, I always like to go on the road. Distractions. He said, when you're at home and you got the pep rally and you got the home crowd, they're looking up at their girlfriend, not that they can't do it on the road, but he said there's just less distractions when you're on the road. Maybe that'll be in Jacksonville's favor. I don't know. It didn't help Whitehouse last week. They got smoked. But it's I hear what you're saying, and there's a lot of truth to that a team like Jacksonville, they're going to sneak up on some people this year. I think that they turned some heads last week because Sulphur Springs is most likely going to be a playoff team. And a lot of people thought, wow, Jacksonville, how about that? Tonight's going to be a real test. Whitehouse is more talented than Sulphur Springs. We're going to find that out here in just a few minutes. So can Jacksonville on the road step up to that next level and get beyond those expectations that they created last week in playing so well against Sulphur Springs? We'll see.
Well, we are about to find out, and to hear more about the Indians' game plan going into this one against Whitehouse, let's bring it back up, and now we'll get it ready to kick it over to Smoke Signals, brought to you by our friends at All Smiles Dentistry.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-07.
Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Jason Holman. Coach, Tomato Bowl last week, what a heck of a football game. Didn't get the win. You had a 16-14 lead going into the fourth quarter. They scored, I think, on the opening play. But your overall impressions of the game, I thought your kids played really well.
Well, it was a tough, hard-fought game. Both teams competed at a very high level, in hot conditions. I was very impressed. I told the kids after the game, I thought our effort was outstanding. I thought that we did what we had to do to maintain a competitive game and be in a position to win it. Had a couple of bad breaks, ball didn't bounce our way, and ended up coming up short. But I was very impressed with our ability to sustain at a high level for 4 quarters, and I felt like we were in good shape. In some cases, probably a little bit better than them. And, it's a game you can build on for sure.
Specifically, Coach, your running game. It's been a long time since you had production like you did from 3 players in Boyd and in Reese and in Mares, combining for 155 yards, kind of evenly spread. And the way you're having to play guys both ways, really managed that well. And, boy, your offensive line did a nice job.
Yeah, for a brand-new unit up front, all 5 are, new starters to the game. I was very impressed with them. They did a great job all night long. I thought we had good protection in the pocket. Of course, we ran the ball well. We were able to move the line of scrimmage, and, that's credit to the coaches and the work that they've done with them. The 3-headed monster we had at running back, that suits us well because, we need some defensive production from a Jaden Boyd and from all 3, from Dede Mars and from Reese Hicks. So we feel like if we're able to rotate and keep fresh legs in the game at running back, that's to our benefit because we get the fourth quarter late. We'll be fresher than others.
Throwing the football, obviously Jermaine does what Jermaine does. He had 7 catches, and Brady threw the ball well. Had some drops. His stats would have been a little bit higher, but really the improvement from the first scrimmage against Kaufman to the first game, as far as like getting him some time, Brady some time, really improved.
Yeah. Well, scrimmages are different. There's things that we try to work on specifically, and you call things in a manner you may not call in a game. The situations don't always pop up like they do in a game. So, I was impressed. We've got to do a better job of catching the ball in certain instances, but for the most part, I thought our offense really clicked and did a good job of controlling the football.
Last thing, Coach, and then we'll go to the highlights from the Sulphur Springs game. Defensively, boy, you really stopped the run, did a nice job. Sulphur Springs, they're salty. They're a playoff-type team. And the quarterback at the end of the game kind of took over a little bit on that zone read, and that kind of hurt us.
Yeah, after the instance in the end zone that was called a fumble, I think that kind of let some of the air out of our sails, and we lost focus on that last drive. So the score ended up, 29-16. Looked a little bit worse than certainly the game was, especially if we'd have gotten the call go our way. We might have had a chance to win it all outright. But, that's kind of the nature of football. Things like that happen. You got to overcome them. You got to regroup, and you got to come back and fight and battle. They started doing some things in the read game with the quarterback pulling the ball on us, and it got on us a little bit out on the edge. But I thought overall, all night long, I think we forced, I believe, like 4 punts throughout the course of the game, and did a good job of holding them in check. They were an explosive offense with, I think, 8 returning starters and a quarterback that could deal it. They can be a potent offense, and we did a good job of, for the most part, keeping them in front of us and making them earn everything they got.
Things you have to overcome in games. We always talk about the weather's part of the game, the referees are part of the game, the broadcasters are part of the game. Things you got to overcome. And was that the lesson that you tried to impart to the kids? Because that really was not a great call there in the goal line.
Absolutely. I feel like, of course I'm biased, but I feel like had we not had some of the mishaps we had early in the third quarter offensively and mishandling the ball, that put us in some long yard down and distance situations. If we'd not had those, if we'd had a call go our way, that would have limited us to 1 turnover apiece. I feel like we'd have won the game outright. We had the momentum at that point in time. Our kids were excited about playing. It's just unfortunate you get some bad breaks. But the lesson being, when you play tough teams, it's oftentimes going to come down to one or two of those types of things and how you handle them. So that's what we're preaching to the kids this week.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Jacksonville versus Sulphur Springs. Here's Jordan with a big tackle for loss here.
Yes, Jordan Dorsey, his first opportunity to start in a varsity football game.
Touchdown here from Brady to Jermaine, the first one.
Great ball and great catch. Brady put it right where he needed to, just outside the reach of the safety that was coming over the top.
How about Didi Mares here, 14 yards?
Well, Didi's a tough kid, and for his size, he packs a lot of punch, and we were very excited that, he had the success he had.
Here's your weapon, Jesus from 35.
Yeah, good field goal by Jesus, good operation, good hold.
Here's Datavius Kincaid here with a breakup.
This is a great job of something we've been preaching in the secondary. When you can get on top of routes like he was right there, you have the advantage.
Trent comes in and forces the fumble.
Yeah, great job of Trent coming in, stripping the ball. I wish we could have gotten it, but took a good bounce to them.
Reese Hicks slices for 13.
Yeah, Reese, playing both ways, showed a lot of resilience and played hard.
This little screen here worked out well for you.
Yeah, it was a great move by Jermaine. Made the one-on-one miss and then just outran him to the end zone.
And this is just a heck of a play by Brady on the snap, then throws it, and then Jermaine goes and gets
well, you tell the secondary don't ever relax on a fumble ball behind the line of scrimmage, and, we were very fortunate to make that play.
And here's that unfortunate call. Ground can't cause a fumble.
Yeah, this was tough. Great fight by Reese. Continued to move the pile. That's why the whistle didn't blow, and you can see him extend the ball right there to the goal line. Just wish the call would have gone our way.
Tough. That's a tough way to end it right there. It's, you see the total yardage right there, Coach, 373. Very balanced, 225 through the air. You just had the 2 turnovers. A lot better than 4 last year, so there's some improvement right there. Yeah. But that one interception was kind of a throwaway a little bit.
And the one turnover was that.
Yeah, it was that one right there. It wasn't a turnover.
Shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Okay, Coach, let's move forward. Let's talk about Whitehouse. You go over to Wildcat Stadium this week. They played Thursday night against 6A North Crowley, losing 55-33. Kind of a deceptive game. I think if you're thinking Whitehouse with 8 offensive starters back, 7 or 8 anyway, and their quarterback back, but North Crowley or North Forney, I should say, they scored on every single possession against Whitehouse's defense. How does that play into y'all's mentality this week offensively?
Well, obviously, we see it as an advantage. We want to attack. I can tell you by watching film, Whitehouse's nature defensively is pretty aggressive. One of those things, kind of live and die by the sword. And in the case of that game, there were some big plays made that they got over the top of them, and which resulted in the 300-plus passing yards that they had on, I think, 9 receptions, something of that nature.
I think he was 7 of 9 for 355 yards.
Yeah, so we want to attack.
Yeah.
Obviously, what they do defensively can, if you don't handle them on the line of scrimmage, it can result in big plays for them. So we've got to be very careful about, how we handle things, make sure we're occupying the blocks, the correct defensive players that we need to occupy to keep the pressure off the quarterback and to open up lanes in the run game. But we feel like that if we can manage the press, because they're going to be up in our face and they're going to be pressing man for the majority of the game. If we can manage that and we can get open, we feel like we can get behind them and in some cases, get inside of them and make plays. So that's kind of the game plan this week, to attack their defense. Defensively,
you'll see another quarterback, kind of like you saw against Sulphur Springs and Josh Green of Whitehouse. He's a big kid, 195 pounds, likes to run the ball, can throw it. He's one of those guys that can take over a football game if your defense doesn't handle him.
Yeah, they run the ball quite a bit for a spread team. They lean towards the side of the run. They graduated a couple of receivers that kind of made them go last year. So I'm not real sure how they feel about their passing game at this point. They'll throw it certainly, but they're going to lean heavily on the run. They're big up front, so we've got to come to the game, ready to have a 4-quarter battle and fight and reestablish the line of scrimmage.
What was the mentality of your football team so far in practice this week? Tough loss last week. You're coming up playing a rival on the road in Whitehouse. What's the mentality been like? How's the mood been?
It's been good. When you play your first game and you've got 3 offensive starters returning, nobody really knows. And although we've scrimmaged a couple of times, nobody really knows exactly who we are and what we're going to, what's going to be an outcome of a game. And I think more than anything, the Sulphur Springs game, what it did for us, it gave us a lot of confidence, understanding that we have weapons and that we can move the ball, that we can block people up front. And, in the case of, let's say, Brady McCowan, for example, as the quarterback, that gives him confidence to sit in there and make throws that he can make, whereas before the game, we really didn't know. We'd had some hiccups in the scrimmages and this, that, and the other. So I feel like from all that, it's given us a sense of confidence that we know we can go out and play a good football team and have opportunities to win.
Yeah, Sulphur Springs, they're going to be in the playoffs out of that district. And Whitehouse has picked second in this district and the 5A district behind Texas High to be in the playoffs. So you've got some pretty good tests these first 2 weeks. Talk about the keys. I mean, what are the things that you're going to have to do? Let's first talk offensively. What are you going to have to do to beat Whitehouse this week?
Well, we're going to have to be on point. Like I said, they bum rush the line of scrimmage. I've got a bunch of people up there. They're going to hold people in the box and make you have to make plays out on the perimeter. So from a running game perspective, we've got to make sure we're on point and fitting up the correct way, not turning people loose in a gap and giving free shots on a running back. And in the passing game, we're going to have to be able to get off press coverage and make some plays out there. And if we can get them softened up and make some plays in the passing game, maybe we can get them into a zone. Maybe that pulls the guy out of the box, opens up the run. So we anticipate that they're going to attack us just like they did against North Forney, and we got to make good on it.
Defensively, stopping the run, you already mentioned that. What else about Whitehouse offensively kind of is the defensive coordinator like you were for so many years kind of makes you go, we got to watch this?
Well, they're big, and they're satisfied with 3 to 4 yards and cloud of dust, so to speak. So it's just the resilience. They're going to get a few here and there. We've got to be resilient. We've got to continue to play, be relentless. They make a play on us, it's not the end of the world. We've got to regroup and gather and come out and fight the next play. And we've got to be on point in the secondary. We let a few things leak out of us on the perimeter in the secondary last week that we've got to get under control. We missed a big tackle that went down the field for about 50 plus, that shouldn't have happened. But we've got to tackle well. We've got to put them on the ground and not get the yards after contact, things of that nature, so we can hopefully get off the field on third down.
It's the first road test for Jacksonville as they head over to Whitehouse Friday. We'll be streaming live on jazzdylive.com at 6:40. We hope to see you at the ball game. For head coach Jason Holman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.
And that was Smoke Signals. Again, we'd like to thank Dr. Larry Folden, Dr. Brad Westbrook, and Dr. Charlie Stocks of All Smiles Dentistry for sponsoring all of our conversations with head coach Jason Holman this year. As Matt, we get ready to go here. Jacksonville and Whitehouse, and it's senior night in Whitehouse. An interesting decision they made to hold their senior night in their first home game. And they've got about 66 seniors across football, band, drill team, trainers. Just about everybody's down there, it seems like.
It does seem that way, but I remember a couple of years ago, maybe it was last year, I don't know. Remember when the band had 50 seniors, Jacksonville High School band?
Yes,
and then you added the seniors in there, and you added the drill, the charmers, and the twirlers. Jacksonville had like 90-something down there they introduced, so that was a big class. But yes, 37 football seniors that Whitehouse has. They always have at least 35 seniors. That's very impressive. From every coach they've had back in the back in the 90s, they always seem to have a lot of seniors. I remember a couple of years ago we came over here, they had 50 seniors. I think we suited up 39 that night. So,
yes.
And they weren't all seniors. So there's a lot of participation here in Whitehouse for sure.
Yeah, well, Jacksonville's spotlight player tonight is a junior, and of course it's junior quarterback Brady McCowan. Brady had his first varsity start last week, and we'll take a look as Ryan brings up our spotlight graphic. And there you see 225 yards last week, 2 scores, the 1 pick late. But, Matt, as we were talking about, with a few drops in there, if you'd have added those in, those numbers would maybe be even more impressive. But you've got to be, I think, overall very impressed with Brady McCowan in his first varsity start.
No question. I mean, he had a lot of zip on the ball. He had a couple of moments where Sulphur Springs was calling out the cadence. They alerted the official to that.
Yep.
Those ones where I was going, what is going on? What is Brady looking at? Well, the ball wasn't supposed to be snapped to him, and Alex Parra, the sophomore center, it's his first varsity start as a sophomore. So, I mean, those are the kind of things that you got to work through. And as you're right, I mean, you had those 5 drops back in there, and it's a very impressive night. It was still impressive all the way around. Defensively tonight, I just think they're going to be more challenged by Whitehouse just because of the trigger man, Josh Green, and they also have a couple of really good running backs. Number one, Jaron Williams. He had 13 carries last week for 129 yards for Whitehouse against North Forney. That's about 10 yards a carry, and he had a score. Green also had over 100 yards rushing on 19 carries, so he was really the one who carried the ball more, the quarterback. They love to run him, not necessarily on a zone read. They just like to quarterback draw, quarterback get in the gap.
Yeah, just design runs.
Yeah, he's a physical runner. Josh Green went to the state wrestling tournament last year. He qualified for that as a junior, 195 pounds. So he's a tush hog, as we say here in East Texas, to bring down. So.
And not a lot of wrestlers around in this area. So when you see a guy that's successful at wrestling, that stands out.
I didn't know East Texas had any wrestling.
Yeah, this is not Oklahoma or Ohio.
Yeah.
But so when you have a kid like that, obviously that stands out. Of course.
Let me know when we get that lacrosse team.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, look, Whitehouse. We've talked about this with a lot of success. With these multi-sport athletes. You had a track and field athlete set some records last year as well. And, of course, he's now at the next level. So, just overall, some very good athletes over here.
Yeah, and they're big, they're strong. I will tell you, just like Coach Holman said, I watched a lot of film on Whitehouse this week. They are better than Sulphur Springs. Let me say this. They are more athletic in the trenches than Sulphur Springs was. So that's where Jacksonville's defensive line, who played really well last week, and the offensive line, we've already talked about how well they played. That's where that game is going to be determined, in my opinion, tonight. Besides the fact that Jacksonville can, run the ball, but that's part of it. It's going to be one in the trenches. And Whitehouse, they're big. I mean, they got some cats, man. They got a couple of 280s, a 290, and so they're hard to block. And as I told you, I shared in the earlier segment, Coach McClendon said that, they'll put 6, 7 guys in the box. They will make you throw, and then when they make you throw, they're playing press coverage on you. I mean, they're getting in your pocket.
Yeah.
This part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by our good friends from the Dairy Queen on South Jackson, Gene Brumelo, JHS class 1967, and his daughter, Ann Brumelo Farmer, JHS class of 2006. We appreciate Gene and Ann for being longtime sponsors of Jacksonville high school football on this part of our countdown to kickoff.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt, as we get closer to kickoff here, let's take a look at the matchup stats. Another great graphic that Ryan will cue up here for us. And you can see last week's output for both teams. Obviously 33 points put up by Whitehouse to 16 for Jacksonville, but that 55 allowed is the one that stands out for me when you look at at Whitehouse. And so if you're Jacksonville, and obviously that was 6A North Forney, but if you're Jacksonville, you have to be looking at this and saying there are points to be scored. I mean,
Well, North Forney scored. This is one of those unusual statistics you don't hear a lot. North Forney scored on every offensive possession. They got a point. Yeah. I mean, the last time I heard that happen, I hate to say, was 2017 when we played the eventual state champion College Station. They scored on every possession against Jacksonville in that by-district win over in Palestine.
Yep.
And, I mean, to do that right there, it speaks to two things. Number one, Whitehouse, if they're going to come out and gamble like that and play press coverage, people are going to get by you sometimes. And I guess Coach Westerberg, that's part of their MO. That's what they want to do. And so that's going to be I think that's going to be something that a guy like Jermaine Taylor, his eyes got to get big and he's got to salivate a little bit knowing that they're going to try that because he's a physical receiver, is Jermaine Taylor. We saw that last week with the 7 catches. We've been watching him since he was a sophomore, and he definitely will has a chance tonight, I think, to have another big ball game if they try to get up and get in his face at the line of scrimmage. Yeah,
and that's really that connection, that McCowan to Taylor connection. That's the one that we hope really just kind of develops over the year here into kind of that maybe that A1 scoring threat for Jacksonville. And we saw flashes of that last week, as you just mentioned. Hopefully they can keep that up against this Whitehouse defense that, as you said, if Jermaine, if he attacks him and goes by him, Brady can get the ball to him.
Absolutely. I mean, he has that kind of zip on his ball, does Brady McCown. Running the football last week, the 155 yards Jacksonville had rushing, Reese Hicks had 14 carries for 75 yards. Didi Mares had 9 carries for 69 yards. And the big guy, Jaden Boyd, who, by the way, he had 11 carries for 54 yards. Jaden wanted to remind me that he said, Mr. Montgomery, I'm not 240 pounds anymore. I'm 227. He's proud of the fact that he got lean and mean for his senior season. So if I slip and I say, hey, man, 240 sounds a lot better. I mean, 240-pound running back, you don't like that? He just shook his head and said, I like 227. I went, okay, you got it. So 227-pound Jaden Boyd, who also plays linebacker in Jacksonville last week defensively. Of course, the newcomer of the year in the district was sophomore Michael Miles last year. He's a junior this year. He led the team in tackles last week. He had the Dar Chiropractic Bone Crusher Hit of the Week. He was the defensive player of the game. And, boy, he had a great game, did Miles. They're going to need him tonight, along with Jaden Boyd, along with Carson Shoemaker defensively, and Trent Powell coming off the edge. So here's Whitehouse's version of Little Indians.
Yeah, the Junior Cats, I think what they're calling them.
Okay. Yeah. They are very junior.
They are.
Those are 3- and 4-year-olds.
Big group.
Yeah.
As is to be expected. We saw how many seniors they have. Well, they've got them coming up through the elementary as well.
They do.
Just good numbers over here in Whitehouse.
Yeah, speaking of size, I mean, if you look at the population of these schools, Whitehouse 1,521 in their high school. That was what was turned in. Jacksonville 1,258, although there's some talk about on the way over here about maybe that number should have been higher, but 1,258 was what was turned into Dave Campbell's Texas football. So Whitehouse with, what is that, about 150 more students than Jacksonville has. So there you go.
Yeah. And as we always say, you give me that many more students, I'll find some football players.
I will find you some players.
Yep.
Yes, no doubt. And that was the struggle Jacksonville had for so many years in the 5A district, one of the smallest schools. Now Jacksonville, going down to 4A Division I, is one of the largest 4A Division I schools in the state of Texas.
Yeah, we mentioned on the way over here, I think one of the top 5, if I recall correctly.
It was either 3 or 4. I can't remember which one it was, but they're up there because the cutoff was 1285, and Jacksonville was 1258. Jacksonville now coming out with their captains to midfield, and both drill teams. I think they're the Lady Cats.
First Ladies. Whitehouse, First Lady.
They didn't have cats in there anymore.
You got it?
Yeah, the First Ladies. That's pretty cool. Of course, the Cherokee Charmers with their new Charmer director, Maddie Montgomery.
No relation?
No relation. Somebody asked if she was my daughter, and I said, hey, are you telling me that I'm old? They said yes. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and take all the drama out of this. Whitehouse won the toss.
Okay.
Yeah, they won the toss, and Jacksonville's kicking off. So just to let you know.
So the Jacksonville defense will get the first crack at things tonight. The Tribe gets ready to come out. The Tribe in the road whites with the blue trim and the blue helmets. But here first come the Cats. Cats in all black with the maroon helmets and the white Power Cat logo.
I guess there's no protocol on who gets to come out of their run-through first, the home team or the visiting team.
I'm not.
I mean, you would think there'd be protocol. You would think they would let the visitors go first and then the home team, but it's not like that. It's just whoever goes. There's no rule.
Yeah,
I'm going to write the UIL.
You would think that.
Captains meeting at midfield as we speak. We'll spot those for Jacksonville. The 3-year starter, number 12, the H-back, the linebacker, Ryan Walker. Also representing Jacksonville, Alex Ramirez, the senior offensive and defensive lineman. And Trent Powell. Started last year as a junior in the secondary, has moved up to what I call a roll-up linebacker position. He had a nice caused a fumble last week coming off that edge.
He sure did. We saw that in smoke signals. And unfortunately, as Coach Holman said, Jacksonville not able to come up with the ball on that play, but a great play by Trent Powell. And here comes the Tribe on the far side. Now here's what I don't understand, Matt. Maybe you can answer this question, but they do these the coin toss kind of pregame now, and then they sort of ceremonially have the coin toss. Well, the official calls the toss as if it's happening in real time. What's up with that?
That's deceitful.
Not real sure the thinking there.
I mean, you're an official. You're supposed to be unbiased and honest and truthful, and you're fooling the crowd by doing that. You've already tossed the coin.
Yeah.
I got to find out about that. Hey, I'll put that on number 2 on my
Well,
list.
put that in your letter too, I guess. But
hey, let's go.
Yeah, no, I've always wondered about that. So now the Whitehouse Band with the national anthem.
Whitehouse High School Band with the national anthem as we're getting ready to play football in Whitehouse, Texas at Wildcat Stadium. Jacksonville versus Whitehouse, week number 2. I want to thank our countdown to kickoff sponsors, Micah Hoffpower, Texas Farm Bureau, and Gene Brumelo and Ann Farmer of the Dairy Queen on South Jackson. Appreciate them for sponsoring all of our countdown to kickoffs for the last several years. So, guys, it is a little bit cooler tonight. A little bit not like last week. We got a little breeze down here. Pretty nice.
Yeah, the calendar has flipped over to September, and now maybe we're out of the worst of the dog days.
Hope so. Hope so. We just need some more rain. So as we said earlier, Whitehouse won the toss. They elected to take the football, and it's an up-tempo offense. You'll see the quarterback, Josh Green, like if he hands the ball off, you'll see him immediately looking at the sidelines, gets a play, and he starts barking out signals before the guy's even tackled to call the next play. That's how fast they like to play. So if you're Jacksonville defensively, I hope you got your cardio in this week because your heart rate's about to go up.
So it'll be Gabe Stroud and Lane Hooker deep to receive.
Yeah, Hooker's one of the main targets offensively, receiving the football from Josh Green, the Whitehouse quarterback. As the senior Jesus Nunez had a 35-yard field goal last week. He's got it teed up. We're set to go. We're at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse here on JISDlive.com. Glad you're with us. And with your play-by-play, here's Aaron Swink.
Nunez kick is up. It's a good one to the far side, fielded cleanly about the 12. Return man cuts back to the right. Jacksonville's got to make a tackle. Lots of room to run. 45-50, and finally dragged down by Nunez, but not before he made his way into fighting Indian territory. So,
well, thank goodness for Jesus Nunez of Jacksonville, the kicker. He just didn't make a swipe at him. He form tackled Munoz right there, but not before he makes a huge return into Jacksonville territory. The fighting Indian 48-yard line.
So
wow.
Josh Green will come to the line with Jaron Williams in the backfield. Now man in motion from the right to the left. And then handoff goes to Williams straight ahead, and he is deep into the Jacksonville secondary, into the red zone, and finally forced out of bounds, but down deep inside Jacksonville territory, and just like that.
Just blew Jacksonville off the football, created enough of a gap for Williams, who had 129 last week in the first game. You saw why right there, first to goal Wildcats.
So right back to work goes Williams this time. Good stop made by the Fighting Indians. Lots of white jerseys suit the tackle there. Jordan Dorsey, one of the first.
Nice play there by the interior line of Jacksonville. Making the play, Devereaux right there. Jordan Dorsey, who had a great game last week, the junior in his first start on that defensive line. Nice job as Devereaux goes over and throws Jaden Boyd his mouthpiece. Officials stop it for that. So Whitehouse now second and goal at the Jacksonville 5-yard line. The sun just going over the bleachers there. Some of the players for Whitehouse looking at the bench are having to cover their eyes just a little bit. That'll be gone in a few minutes.
So if you're just joining us, Whitehouse already knocking on the door here deep in Jacksonville territory after a great opening kickoff return, and then
so they
a
have
big run from Williams.
Excuse me, Aaron. There's apparently a problem with the play clock. It's stuck on 23 seconds, and it wasn't moving, so the official stopped play right there. And, of course, this up-tempo offense, you can immediately see those guys out there just shaking. They can't stand not to have the ball snapped. You know, they're just, what are we doing? Why are we standing here?
They're like Matt Montgomery in a press box.
Yeah, that's right. Caged animal.
That's it.
So the officials over there talking to Coach Westerberg, and maybe they'll start play, but the man in the white hat now talking to the other official over the football.
Yeah, and they may have to keep it on the field, Matt.
Yeah.
Not sure. what they're going to do in terms of the play clock.
Yeah, he's telling Jason Holman that the play clock is messed up. We've deduced that. Wait a minute, this official's not here watching.
So now back to action.
Yes.
And into the line. Not much there.
Oh, easy. Let him
You
go.
got to let him go there.
Good grief
Wow.
moly. The whistle blew, guys.
Yeah,
you got to let him
there's
go.
the flag. And,
Come on, Jaden. Oh, my goodness.
yep,
Devereaux and Jaden,
And-
they had
and
him wrapped up, and they just
they did, and they wouldn't let him go. I don't know.
This is an automatic first down. I mean, this is what happened to Jacksonville in the fourth quarter last week. They just didn't make very good mental decisions. They're actually calling that on Reese Hicks
I was
from
going to
his
say
safety
that's-
position.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to call out Jaden like that, and also Cameron Devereaux, because I just saw them coming up off the pile. But it was actually Hicks, the junior safety for Jacksonville,
well,
that got the call. Man, you had a nice stop. It would have been 3rd and goal at the 5, and look at what. Now it's 1st and goal at the 2.
so now quarterback keeper right side, and Green close but short.
Got down to about the half-yard line. Let's see where the spot is. Now just really just outside the 1, so it's between the 1 and the 2 as Josh Green's knee went down there. 2nd and goal for Whitehouse.
So back to work, the pistol formation. Low snap. Green picks it up, though, runs
He's
straight
down.
ahead.
He's down. No touchdown. His knee touched the ground on the low snap.
Wow, yeah, he went down to get it.
So they're going to mark it at the 5, Aaron. Loss of 3 as Green just snap dribbled back and he got on his knee and touched it. That's a good catch by the man in the white hat. He was all over that. 3rd and goal. Golly, can you hold him here? Can you hold him to a field goal?
Would be a big win for Jacksonville. 2 receivers each way in the set. Now one of them in motion from the right to the left. Green going to roll left. Here comes some pressure. Miles.
Yeah,
And
boy!
more, and down he goes.
Michael Miles, coming from his linebacker position, spying Green, who was looking in the corner to number 5, Braylon Jackson. And here comes Miles into the backfield and hits him right when he throws the football. And it goes, so now we got a flag.
Intentional grounding the call.
I mean, I'm glad it happened for Jacksonville, but I don't agree with that one. I mean, the reason the ball come out is he got hit. Did y'all see that? I don't know. I didn't think he was throwing it away. I thought he got hit.
And I believe it was Drew Dials that was in on the hit. We'll take a look at the replay as Ryan's queued it up. But you see,
it was Dials and not Miles.
Dials and Miles both providing the pressure, but it was Dials that made the contact.
So what do you see on the replay? Does it look like he's intentionally grounding that football?
Well, I think the question is whether or not it was a catchable ball. And I don't think it was, but
well, the reason it wasn't catchable is because Dials knocked the crud out of him, and the ball went awry. I don't see that. It's Cameron Devereaux for Jacksonville. I think he has a cramp. He's coming off under his own power. Still, it's not as hot as last week, but it's still a muggy night. So after the penalty, after having it 1st and goal at the 2, Whitehouse is looking at 4th down on their own 12, and now they're looking at a 30-yard field goal they're going to attempt right here.
It's going to be spotted at the 19 on the field goal attempt. It'll be 29-yard attempt.
And so the senior Bo Benson, of course, a few years ago we made a comment on what a great football name Bo has got. And he's out there now, the senior, and his kick
he missed
is
it.
No good.
Off to the left. Can you believe that?
And so the Indians hold.
Hang on just a moment. The Jacksonville coaches are saying, wait just a minute. Stay on. Hang on. Is there a flag? Was Jacksonville offsides?
Yeah, it looks like there is a flag down there, Matt. Let's see.
We'll
get the call, but
this would be monumental for Jacksonville to have Whitehouse come away with no points on this, but I think they're going to get another shot on the field goal because Jacksonville, they didn't have really a block on, so I'm not sure. Running into the kicker.
Replay 4th down. Running into the kicker.
Okay, that's
So it's running into and not roughing, so it will still be 4th down, replay 4th down.
mistake, big mistake number 2.
But it'll give Benson another shot.
Running into the kicker and roughing the quarterback. I love the aggressiveness, but control, guys, control.
Yeah, the scoreboard crew is not quite on top of things as
Now what?
they're showing a touchdown for Whitehouse, which of course did not happen because the quarterback's knee went down.
So apparently it's a 10-yard penalty, but it was 4th and goal. So now it's going to be a 15-yard, or I'll call it maybe 24, excuse me.
And so
24.
Field goal attempt this time on the way, and it is good. And so now the 9:17 mark here in the first quarter. The score, Whitehouse 3, Jacksonville nothing. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Commerce Street Draft House. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back here at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse where the Cats were threatening, but Jacksonville holds them to 3. Unfortunate to get scored on, Matt, but I think you'll take just a field goal there.
3 points out of that deal when it was 1st and goal. Absolutely, Jacksonville will take that.
Short kickoff, near side, fair caught at about the 32 by Ryan Walker. So that's where Jacksonville will start their first drive.
It just looked like those first couple of plays, Jacksonville defensively was just a little bit like the kickoff was rough because it was such a big return, and then the first play, before you know it, man, they're down there in the inside the 10. And boy, did that Jacksonville defense make they got their head in the game, I should say, and they swarmed to the football. And, man, they hit Whitehouse in the mouth after those first couple of plays to hold them to 3. So here's Brady McCowan. Joining him in the backfield will be Jaden Boyd, the 227-pound senior running back / linebacker.
2 receivers on the left for the Indians, 1 on the right. Taylor in motion. He'll get the handoff and go around right end with it, and he'll pick up about 5, will the senior Jermaine Taylor.
So that's something we expected to see at some point is Taylor, who's, he could be a great high school running back. He's that kind of an athlete. And you saw that right there. And he played a lot of running back when he was a freshman on the junior varsity. Here he goes again. It's Jaden.
This time the handoff is to Boyd, and he will dive into the line, pick up a few.
So that first carry by Jermaine Taylor only got about a couple, even though it looked like he ran a long way. It was lateral. Didi Mares checks in for Jacksonville for Boyd in the backfield. So 3rd down, 6 to go on Jacksonville's first offensive possession, 3-0 Whitehouse. As the Fighting Indians settle down defensively to hold them to a field goal, but here's a 3rd down for Jacksonville.
So McCowan now going to throw across the middle and just overshoots his man.
That's just a miscommunication right there. McCowan was throwing down the seam, and Jermaine Taylor, the intended receiver, was running a post route. So fortunately, the free safety was going along with Jermaine, or that could have been picked off because they were not connected there, Brady McCowan and Jermaine Taylor. So we'll see Jesus Nunez, the senior kicker / punter, doing double duty coming on to punt the football. Dropping back Gabe Stroud for Whitehouse.
So Nunez Trying to put one deep here. Kick is away. End over end. Takes a little bit of an Indian bounce inside the 35 and rolls out at about the 33 of Whitehouse, where they'll come out and take over for their second possession.
So as I said a minute ago, it's first and goal at the 2 a moment ago for Whitehouse, and Jacksonville makes a nice stand, holds them to a field goal. Let's see if that confidence carries over right here for the Fighting Indian defense. As Whitehouse, with that 3-0 lead, gets their second offensive possession. This one will start at their own 34.
They're going to go with the empty backfield this time. 3 receivers on the left, 2 on the right. And Green looks left, throws left, screen set up over there. But Jacksonville blows it up.
Man, just great coverage by Jacksonville, stepping up right there. Number 4 is Nehemiah Boyd.
Yeah,
Nemo.
Nemo. Hey, we found him. Finding Nemo.
Set that. Yeah, good one. Nice little screen set up by Whitehouse, but Jacksonville
Thank
all
you, Ryan
over
Travis.
that. They actually lost, not only gained a yard on the play. We'll call it 2, 2nd 8 for Whitehouse.
Good job by the Jacksonville coaches, too, letting the guys know when the whistle had gone. We saw that cause a little bit of trouble on that last drive.
Yep.
As Tyler Lacombe gets his first touch.
Lacombe had 29 yards last week in the first game for Whitehouse against North Forney. They're only going to give him about a yard on the play, a couple of yards. I'm having a hard time keeping up with my namesake over here. I'll tell you that story in just a second. Here, that's doing the chains. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, your Whitehouse doppelganger.
Yes.
Almost forgot about him. Out route is caught that time by Braylon Jackson.
Let's see, is it caught? Yeah, they got the catch.
Yeah.
It's 4th down. So Whitehouse is going to send out their punting unit. Bo Benson, who, like Jesus Nunez of Jacksonville, does double duty as the kicker and the punter. The Fighting Indians will drop Reese Hicks back.
Bo is also the goalkeeper for the Whitehouse soccer team.
Oh, that's who that is. I've heard that name from that. Yeah, from soccer. Good player.
His dad added me as a Facebook friend a couple of years ago. He enjoyed our broadcast and had a chance to follow his exploits. That's a good punt from Bo Benson and good coverage from the Wildcats.
Gutsy play by Reese Hicks. He took that ball in a hop, and then there was a Wildcat right in his face. Fortunately for Reese, he secured the football because he got rocked. So Whitehouse goes 3 and out, and Jacksonville gets their second offensive possession. And, yeah, you were speaking of the guy that's doing the down markers. Name's Matt Montgomery. So, sorry, guys, there's more than one of us. Sadly enough. So Boyd in the backfield for Jacksonville with Brady McCown, the quarterback.
McCown this time going to look to the right side, going to throw one-on-one. Ball's loose.
Yeah!
Taylor dives on it. That ball was intercepted and fumbled.
Man, what a play by Jermaine Taylor.
And
that's
then
a
Jermaine
highlight.
Taylor.
Oh, wow. Ball got picked off. Taylor strips it, and then he comes up with a fumble.
That's huge.
So I know Todd Travis is up there scratching his head going, no, it's not a first down. It's an interception and fumble recovery. How about that?
Yep.
You know, it's one thing to get frustrated, you know, when somebody intercepts the ball right in front of you, but then it's another thing to not have the wherewithal to say, strip it,
yeah,
and he did.
To play to the whistle, and he did. This time the handoff into the line. And Boyd is shoved back.
Yeah, it's a tough front for Whitehouse, and as you know, we talked about it in pregame. I mean, they've got 6 guys in the box. Boyd will check out. Let's see who comes in. It's Reese Hicks.
Reese going with one high gold sock on the right side, so easy to spot. Reese, that's
what a catch!
Caught by Jermaine. That is a Bill McCray Ford first down.
Woo, what a catch!
As he went up and high pointed that ball, did Taylor.
That's a Division I catch.
It is absolutely.
I mean, that's why he's being recruited by several D1 schools. That is a D1 catch for the Jacksonville Bill McRae Ford. First down at the Whitehouse 40.
So now 2 Indian receivers on the right, 1 on the left. McCowan looks left, throws left. Zeke Whitaker off his hands, incomplete.
You know, coming into the ball game, that's a fine defensive play by Whitehouse. Coming in the ball game, Jason Holman felt like and you look at the stats for North Forney last week, he felt like the secondary for Whitehouse was suspect, but so far they've got an interception. There's a PBU. I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they are right on Jacksonville's receivers. That's a nice play.
Well, they have to be if you're going to play the cover one press like you were talking about. These corners have got to stick, and they've been doing that as Reese Hicks trying to get out of contact here and not able to really get going.
Somebody got him around the shoulder pads and kind of turned him around. Hicks is so athletic. Got out of that tackle, but this Whitehouse front, very quick, very fast. That nose right there, 280 pounds, and he's not slow. He can run.
So now Brady drops back, got some time, sets, throws. Is Taylor held up? He is. There's the flag. For pass interference.
Yeah, Jermaine's looking at me saying, hey, do you see that? He pointed at me and said, do you see that? And you know who got that call? Jason Holman.
Yeah.
He was right there in that official's ear on the side over here, and that flag came directly from where Jason Holman was standing. So it's a first down, holding on Whitehouse. As Brady McCown, it looked like a bad pass. What happened? Well, the reason it looked like bad was because Jermaine was being held and he couldn't get off the break. Great call by the official. And Jason Holman.
So now right back to work. Hicks stays in with McCown. McCown going to look, throw right side again, incomplete this time.
Oh, man, that was not even close. And now Jacksonville player down is Trevor Arrington.
Yeah, Trevor.
I don't know what he did right
slow
there.
To get up there on that sideline, and he goes right back down as he stood up. So hope he's all right. Not exactly sure. He just may have come down awkwardly.
He did, and that's exactly what he did. He was trying to dive for that pass that wasn't really that accurate by Brady. Of course, Brady did a nice job keeping it away from the defense, but uncatchable by Trevor, and I hope it's not his shoulder. Second down 10.
So McCown drops back again, sets his feet, throws, right side, caught.
What a catch by Jaden Boyd.
And Boyd will move the chains for the Bill McRae Ford first down.
Oh, that's so pretty. I tell you, Jaden Boyd was a freshman. He was on the varsity. And of course, the first play, the first game, he got hurt towards ACL. In practice, I could not believe how soft that guy's hands were catching the ball out of the backfield. You saw it right there. Beautiful pass by Brady McCowan, perfectly thrown. The Fighting Indians have it first and goal right at the 10 of Whitehouse.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Hicks, the
Wildcat.
back, he gets the Wildcat, and he's going to take it to the left side. Got all kinds of room to run. There's a flag. He's into the end zone, but this will be coming back. 2 flags flew.
That's most likely a hold on Jacksonville, as Hicks got the edge and took it into the end zone. But it looks like it is going to be coming back. Brady McCown goes and gets the next play. Hicks will check back out. Boyd will stay in as the officials now call the holding penalty on Jacksonville. So it'll be 10 from the spot. Let's see how far back. Where did the penalties? 10 from the spot. So it must have happened. Okay, it happened at the 6. That's about right. That's about where.
Yep.
That's about where Reese left everybody.
Set it at the 16.
Yep. So stays first down and goal, but at the 16 now. As the Indians go right into that end zone where the band is for Whitehouse.
McCowan drops back. Boyd got to keep the men off of him. He does a nice job. McCowan flings it into the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Boy, that's a good ball by Brady at the back of the end zone.
It was.
And Jermaine almost came up with it.
Yeah, Jermaine.
Double covered. Well, actually, the corner was on him and the safety came over the top because Brady threw that ball so high, gave the safety time. It Perfect throw. Jermaine almost came up with it. So, second down and goal as Jermaine will check out. Thad Hoffpower will check in for Jacksonville at receiver.
2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Boyd is the back. McCowan drops back, looks, slant over the middle, incomplete in the end zone. Flags fly.
Got interference. Good call. Excellent call by the officials. All over number 18 of Jacksonville, Drew Dials, who had a great defensive play a moment ago. He's also an outstanding receiver for Jacksonville, running the slant route. Brady's accuracy is really, it's salty in this first quarter. He drilled it on a dime. And they're going to get pass interference, so you know what that means. That's an automatic first down. Officials still talking about it here. Got their mic on, so they might not need to be talking about that. So what do we got here? Pass interference on Whitehouse. It's a 10-yarder. That should put it, wow, where's this going to?
Should be down about
the 2.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So first and goal, Jacksonville at the Whitehouse 2. So the Wildcats, after Jacksonville got a couple of penalties there, now Jacksonville is answering Whitehouse's mistakes with first and goal at the 2, and at the Wildcats in. And the big fella, not 240, 227-pounder, Jaden Boyd.
Only 7 seconds on the play clock. Jacksonville's got to go here.
Got to get personnel in there.
They're going to have to call a timeout.
Got to call a timeout here.
Yeah, ended up with too many on the field to the Indians. Good spot, Ryan Travis.
Personnel timeout.
And again, you're going right into the teeth of a Whitehouse Wildcat band that has come alive down there.
What's that rule? I guess they don't have a rule. I thought they had a rule about. I guess they don't have it. What am I thinking?
Band's playing once
band's
the ball's
playing
set.
while the other offense is on the field.
Yeah, at one point I thought that was a rule as well.
Yeah.
I've not seen it enforced.
No.
Early in this ball game for sure.
Hey, really, are you going to go over and tell the band to stop playing? What official's going to do that, huh? That's like 3 seconds in the lane in basketball. Are you really going to call that? Okay, here we go. First and goal. Jacksonville has their personnel they want. And it's Boyd in the Wildcat for the Tribe.
So the Indians looking to punch it in and take the first lead of the ball game. Whistles blow this one dead as the.
I don't like this. And not only that, but the ball bounced off of Jaden's hands.
Procedure the call against the Indians.
Come on, guys. So that'll put it back at the 7-yard line. Stays first down and goal. Jacksonville will keep that Wildcat package in. They just look discombobulated there before the snap. There it goes.
This time, Boyd around the right side. Got a little bit of room.
Gets to the 3.
And he gets most of it back.
So Boyd turns the corner. Good blocking by the H-back, Ryan Walker. And I don't know if you noticed, but Luis Mancera, 6'7", 305. He's in the backfield as a blocker as well.
So they'll stay with the same Wildcat look to Boyd, and this time he'll go between the tackles. Not much there.
Man, got to get a push right here. Got to get a push. Boyd got about a yard. So third down and goal at the Whitehouse 2. Boyd stays in the Wildcat. They're going to do it again.
We'll go into the 4-minute mark when the ball snapped here.
He's not going to get there.
And all kinds of
wait a minute. They're pushing
scrum there, still going. But now down Jacksonville, not able to capitalize.
And Raphael Foy is down for Jacksonville. That'll stop the clock here, Aaron, on this injury. Let's go and take a break.
We'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Hubert Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, the cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
And we're back live as the Fighting Indians keep the offense out there looking for the end zone. And this is a reverse, and he slips.
Oh, my goodness.
And the Wildcats hold.
So Jacksonville returns the favor. I should say Whitehouse returns the favor. Jacksonville had first to goal at the 2, and they can't get in. Whitehouse at least came away with 3. Jacksonville comes away with a goose egg. So the Wildcats will take over at their own 4-yard line as the Fighting Indians come away with no points.
And I don't know, Matt. You had Nunez hit the 35-yarder last week.
Yeah.
You wonder this early in the ball game.
I like the call. I mean, if Jermaine doesn't slip right there, he may have scored.
Oh, there's a good chance that he does.
A good chance that he does. So here's Whitehouse.
Now back to work are the Wildcats with Green, and he will make his way up to about, call it the 8.
So I want to tell you what the official told me during the break about the band playing when the opposing offense is on the field.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that conversation, but
it wasn't good.
So Green will put one up deep to the right side, overthrows everybody.
He was throwing that to Coach Westerberg over there. Nobody there. No, I asked the official, and, man, he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, what? And I said, the opposing band, the band playing when the opposing offense is on the field, is that a rule? He said, not that I'm aware of.
Well, there you go.
I said, well, excuse me for bothering you. He did. I don't know. He looked at me like I was crazy. I know that was a rule years ago. Never mind.
I think at some point it was.
Okay.
But
that's second down now and 4.
2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Green looking, slant over the middle, caught for the first down out to, call it the 20.
So tackle made by Reese Hicks, helped by Shoemaker, but it's a first down Whitehouse, and here they go.
Yeah, you said they like to go fast, Matt. This handoff is straight ahead, and they'll pick up about 5.
Yeah, that's going to be Ivan Lacey, 6'1", 185 senior. So Whitehouse picks up 5, 2nd and 5 after the Lacey carry. What a missed opportunity by Jacksonville a moment ago. I just keep going back to it.
2 receivers on the left now, man in motion. He comes across to the right. The handoff straight ahead again and out to about the 30.
Miles with a tackle for Jacksonville.
Goes Lacey.
Lacey, 3rd down and about 1.
Jordan Dorsey in on the tackle as well. He had a big tackle last week, did Dorsey.
Boy, didn't he? Tackle for loss early in the game.
This time Green going to keep, and he will pick up the first down, and Jacksonville's got to make a tackle here. Finally bringing him down, but not before he gets out to about the Whitehouse 43 and moves the chains.
Yeah, just kind of tiptoe, dance through there. Jacksonville just didn't get a hat on him first down.
And they're going fast again, are the Wildcats. This throw out to the left side, caught, and taken down near midfield is Jackson.
So we have another Jacksonville player down. Let's see what this is about. Hasn't indicated where he's hurting. He's just kind of laying on his back.
Training staff out. Matt, I think we'll take this break with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends.
And we're back. Empty backfield now for the Wildcats and Green.
I'm not sure what Green's asking the official here. He's looking back at him and pointing at something.
Well, I think it's the play clock again, Matt.
It's still, well, now it's turned on. It's at 20. So it is working. And now he's going to stop it.
Play clock, 40 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to reset it. That's what Green was asking about.
It's supposed to be 25 after some kind of stop.
Well, he just called for a 40-second clock and a restart, so here we go. Empty backfield. Green looks left, throws. Got a man,
job. Nice.
but Jacksonville able to blow it up and get to Tyler Lacombe before he can get going.
A nice play over there by Jacksonville's defense. I believe that's Kincaid. Also, Shoemaker came in and helped Kincaid on the tackle. Big play here.
So third down and short. Call it about 2.
Lacey in the backfield for Whitehouse. You got to feel like it'll be him or Green carrying it.
They like a designed run with Green, so we'll see what they do. And that is, in fact, where they go with Green right up the middle. And he's got the first down into Jacksonville territory.
Little quick ball fake right there. Read the defensive end of Jacksonville, which Jacksonville really doesn't have like a prototype defensive end. Just kind of an outside linebacker rolled up. So first down Whitehouse as we go under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
This time handoff is to Lacey, and he's
No,
got
it's quarterback.
check that as Green keeps it, fooled everybody, me included. He picks up the first down near the Jacksonville 35. Yeah, that play
Pretty
had
good ball fake.
That ball fake had its designed effect, as you could tell. Yeah, that is what Lacey and Green bring
Here's
to the
Lacey.
table.
Look
Lacey's
out.
got it this time.
There you go. Nice
And
tackle.
he's out near the 30. Call the 31, moves the chains. Another fighting Indian down.
Trent looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him right there. That'll stop the clock with 5.3 seconds here in the first. 3-0 Whitehouse. As Jacksonville's had several injuries in this first quarter. Not, game-ending injuries for those players, but some of them have been kind of dinged up. Of course, I haven't seen Trevor Arrington come back in just yet.
Yeah, we saw Arrington go down trying to make that diving catch, and
Yeah.
so training staff still out for the Fighting Indians.
Yeah, I just asked Trevor Arrington, and he said they're going to check him out at the half, and he may be back in the second half. That's the end of the quarter.
So after one in Whitehouse, the score, the Wildcats 3, Fighting Indians nothing. We'll come back after this short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
And we're back live at Wildcat Stadium here in Whitehouse as we get set to begin the second quarter of this Week 2 contest between the Indians and the Wildcats. It's Whitehouse with a 3-0 lead and driving again. Ball sitting at about the Jacksonville 31. See if the Indian defense come up with another stop. Green takes a snap, fakes a handoff, pulls back to throw. This one could be picked.
Got interference.
Knocked away, flags fly. Yeah, interference going to be the call for sure.
And that's tough for Jacksonville. It's going to go against Zeke Whitaker, the junior, who ran into the receiver, number 5, Braylon Jackson, because Jermaine Taylor came across and he almost picked it off. I mean, he had that ball zeroed in on, so Zeke really didn't need to run into the receiver there because Jermaine had it the whole way. So 15-yard penalty will put it at the Jacksonville 17, well, maybe the 16, first down. By the way, I want to congratulate Jacksonville Mayor Randy Gorham today. He officially qualifies for Medicare.
How about that?
That's a fancy way of saying he's 65.
He's 65. Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. So man in motion in the backfield. The handoff, though, straight up the middle. Lacey again, this time to about the Jacksonville 13.
Really like the way Jacksonville is closing so much better since that first drive. And they're filling the gaps. They're playing good gap pursuit, filling the lanes on that defensive line.
Ball is loose. Recovered by Green, and he is dropped. He did. Ryan Travis on top of it said he fumbled again right at the 1.
Well, Jason Holman is pointing that he was down back further.
Yeah, I think when he recovered the initial fumble, question is whether or not his knee went down.
He didn't call his knee down. I thought it did too. So it's 1st and goal.
So the handoff is to Lacey, and he's straight ahead for the score.
So Whitehouse gets the first touchdown of the game to go over their field goal. 9-0 Wildcats as we just are underway in this second quarter. Cats get on the board.
So now Benson on to attempt the extra point. Extra points brought to you by Neighbors Coffee, downtown Jacksonville. Benson's kick is up, and it hits the upright. No good.
All right.
So 11-11 to go here in the first half. The score now, Whitehouse 9, Jacksonville nothing. We'll be back after a short break. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Special thanks to the Jacksonville Education Foundation for everything that they do for Jacksonville students and teachers. For more information, please visit jisdfoundation.org.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite. You're going to love this burger. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
And we're back live here on JISD Live, 11-11 to go here in the first half. Whitehouse leading Jacksonville with a score of 9-0, and Matt, the Indians catching a little bit of a break there as the extra point hits the upright, but Whitehouse able to go up 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean
Jacksonville needs to answer.
Yeah, they do, and of course they missed the opportunity earlier, and they got to get that back. But Whitehouse is doing exactly what Jacksonville schemed for. They're just running the football. That's their MO. They like to run between the tackles with their quarterback and 2 or 3 running backs, and that's what they're doing. Here's the kickoff.
High kickoff, near side, fair caught. So Jacksonville will start this drive at their 25.
Didi Mares with the fair catch as Jacksonville's offense back out on the field. It's been a little hit or miss tonight for the Fighting Indians offensively. They really haven't gotten in the groove running the football like they did so early last week against Sulphur Springs. as the Whitehouse front clearly is they came prepared. I'm sure they watched that Sulphur Springs film, and, boy, they have shut down that zone blocking scheme that Jacksonville did so well in their offensive line last week, and it's been a tough night so far for Jacksonville running the football. Hicks will check in the backfield as the running back, which means Whitehouse will have 7 in the box.
Two receivers on the left side of the shotgun set. One on the right as McCown drops back, looks left, throws left, got his man
Jermaine.
right at the sticks is Taylor.
Ooh, what a frozen rope by Brady.
And he will move the chains for the Bill McCray Ford first down. And you said it, Matt, McCown's accuracy continues apace.
And he waited. He was patient. He waited for him to clear the linebacker before he threw the ball.
So this time,
Hicks
up the middle with Reese Hicks, and he will take it out to about the 40.
That's about the best run of the night for Jacksonville so far, which isn't saying a whole lot. Picks up 4, 2nd and 6. Hicks with the carry. Had 79 yards last week against Sulphur Springs. Ryan Walker in the backfield is the H-back. Off the
McCown
edge.
drops back, looks right, throws, incomplete.
Looking for Zeke.
Yeah, just off the hands of Whitaker.
You know, we talked about Jacksonville's inexperience coming back offensively in pregame, and 3 offensive starters back. One of them was Zeke Whitaker, but he was a sophomore last year. He was still really wet behind the ears, and he's one of those 3 starters. So this is almost a brand new unit for Jacksonville.
So now 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. McCown got time, going to load up, fire, complete first down to Taylor, and a whole lot more as he turns on the afterburners and makes his way into Wildcat territory, down all the way to the 34.
You know, after having Devin McEwen for 3 years, you lose him and you think, oh my goodness, who's going to step up? Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the guy that's going to get those catches? Well, so far, Jermaine Taylor is playing a nice role, picking up big plays with some nice catches. First down, Jacksonville.
So another Bill McCray Ford first down. This time the pitch to the right side, and not a whole lot there for Hicks.
There was absolutely nobody out there blocking for Hicks on that edge. He got the toss. He's running off the field now with his palms up, going like, what the? There was 3 Whitehouse Wildcats waiting for him. Lost a yard only. 2nd and 11.
2 receivers left, 1 right for the Indians. This time it'll be McCown to throw again, and wide open, man.
Look at this guy.
Bill McCray Ford first down and more.
He's
Down
a beast.
inside the 10.
The beast, Jermaine Taylor. That free safety came up after he made the catch, and Jermaine said, get off of me, child. I mean, he just slung him off like he was a rag doll. First down and goal.
So now a handoff straight into the line.
And nothing.
Just a few.
I'm just not sure Jacksonville's going to be able to run that inside zone running game like they did last week against Sulphur Springs. It hasn't worked yet. We're deep into this second quarter. Boyd stays in.
Taylor now in the slot on the left side, so watch a crossing route. No, he's going to fire right into the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Zeke Whitaker.
Zeke with the catch from 13. Fighting Indians on the board. Another frozen rope by Brady McCown coming off the field. He is fired up. Great concentration by Zeke Whitaker right there, huh? He had a guy draped on his back, and the coaches, they wear the receivers out about catching the ball with your hands, not your chest. And now what is going on? We don't have Trevor Arrington is the holder. He's hurt. Zeke makes the touchdown catch, and now he's coming out to hold. Plenty of time.
12 seconds, enough time to get the snap off. Let's see about Zeke's hold. It's no good. So Zeke has to pick it up and run, and unfortunately he's dragged down trying to make something out of nothing, and that's down to just the confusion.
Well,
I think of Zeke there.
Well, I mean, look, that's just a high school thing right there. Usually you just have one holder, and he's on the bench hurt. He's not in there, and Zeke catches the touchdown pass. He's freaking out. He's happy. He's not thinking about holding, and that cost him. So Jacksonville gets the touchdown. They don't get the extra point, 9-6.
So 8:21 to go. As you said, Matt, the score now, Whitehouse 9, Jacksonville 6. We'll take the short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium. 8:21 to go, first quarter. Jacksonville strikes, and it's now 9-6. Jesus Nunez kick is high to the far side. No fair catch call. Jacksonville's got to make a tackle, and it's just going to be Nunez back there. Can he slow him down to get some help? And finally they do.
Well, I know what Jacksonville needs to work on next week.
Kickoff coverage.
Kickoff coverage.
Hooker on the return.
Suspect is too nice a word.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, let's take a quick look at this touchdown again. McCowan to Whitaker, and as you said, Matt, McCowan has been accurate all night so far, and this is just a laser.
I mean, he threw it where nobody could catch it but Zeke. I mean, that's what you want from your quarterback. You want him to put the football where the only guy that can get it is his teammate. So after another huge return, here's Whitehouse, the Jacks 27. Ugh.
So the Indian defense going to be called on again to make a big stop. This is a pitch. Here come the Indians.
Dorsey!
What a tackle by Jordan Dorsey.
I love him. Jordan Dorsey, the junior. I tell you, nobody worked harder this last summer than Jordan Dorsey getting ready for varsity football. Man, he ran him down. Loss of 4 in the play. Second down, 14.
So now Green loads up to throw. Got a man right at the sticks. Jacksonville trying to hold him up and go for the strip.
So they'll pick up the lost yardage plus about 6. So now it's third down. 4 to go just outside the Jacksonville 20-yard line as Braylon Jackson makes the catch for Whitehouse.
So this time Green going to run right side and slices through. First down yardage to the Jacksonville 10.
Trent Powell just was right there, just really didn't take a great angle right there. And Green got by him.
So now handoff is faked again. Green keeps, and he will power ahead to about the 7.
Yeah, he wanted to throw that football to Powell Johnson, number 19 out here on the edge, and boy, Jacksonville had it all covered up with Nehemiah Boyd. So Green had to keep it. So second down, goal to goal at the Jacksonville 8-yard line.
They'll have 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Now man in motion from the right side slot to the left as the handoff goes to Lacey.
Nice tackle.
He gets a few, and then he's thrown down.
Trent Powell with a tackle. Man, oh man, a pancake out here after the play. No call.
Jordan Dorsey got absolutely thrown to the ground.
Yeah, Jonathan Bush, 6'3", 300, formerly of the WWE right there. Wow. I mean, come on. Nice tackle by Trent. Moves it to the 6, 3rd down and goal for Whitehouse.
So we'll go under 6 minutes here in the first half as Green takes the snap, looks for somewhere to throw, now runs right up the middle to the goal line and in.
Hey, easy. Come on, Carson. Oh, good grief. Come on, Carson. Stop it. Stop it. I'm trying to talk to him. He's not listening to me.
And so
there's a great job by Trent Powell right there. Trent Powell came in and grabbed Shoemaker and shoved him away, and Shoemaker needs to come out of this ball game because he lost his head. He did that last week in the 4th quarter, and I don't think Jason Holman's going to put up with that much longer. Bradley Gandy having a few words. He's a defensive coordinator, and Carson's trying to explain his case, but that's not going to fly.
So with the score, the Cats take the 15-6 lead. Benson's kick now on the way. The extra point brought to you by Neighbors Coffee. It's good. So the score now with 5:47 to go in the half. Whitehouse 16, Jacksonville 6. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium. 5:47 to go first half. Wildcats stretch their lead to 16-6. And Matt, the Indians need to answer.
Well, they do. They got plenty of time with 5:47. Offense has been clicking a little bit the last couple of drives. Let's see what they can do here. Here's Mares.
Short kickoff, and Mares will just make the fair catch here at about the 25, so right where they started the last drive.
Fans, stay with us at the half. We'll have the performance of the Jacksonville award-winning Cherokee Charmers, Jacksonville Majorettes, also Donnie Barrier's JHS Fighting Indian Band. Of course, statistics sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. It's the Whataburger Halftime Report. Of course, we'll have our halftime interview sponsored by All Smiles with head coach Jason Holman and get his thoughts, but not before Jacksonville comes out here with the football at their own 25 with 5:47 remaining in this first half. Jacksonville has one timeout left in this first half.
They'll go with two receivers on the left, one on the right for McCown. He's got a man wide open. Zeke Whitaker deep into Wildcat territory. And again, that's what happens when you have that cover one press coverage. Matt, if you got a guy that can beat his man as Zeke just did right there.
It's do or die, Aaron. Good call. You're right. Zeke got by him. Brady delivers a laser. Zeke loses his helmet. Film at 11.
Big Bill McCray Ford first down into Wildcat territory. And
Dede
Mares with the carry and up the middle and then slung back.
Give him forward progress. Should be to the 40, actually 39.
Yeah,
so
put him
good
about the
spot.
39, yeah.
Yep, good spot for Dede. Just about a yard only. He'll stay in the ball game.
Yeah, we were talking about the helmets. There were so many helmets that came off last week and kind of a new helmet design. We can get into that in a little bit, but two receivers on the left. McCown going to look that way and just overthrew his man.
Yeah, just a little bit behind in height to Jermaine. He was going toward the sideline, and Brady was making sure that he kept it away from the corner who was coming up off the edge.
Yeah. But as I understand it, Matt, the new helmet design, there are two straps that are designed, of course, to make these helmets safer, but they're a little bit more difficult to secure, I think, in some situations.
Yeah, there's no more snaps. The snaps are gone. You slide it through a little slot. You tighten it up, and Brady McCown's having a hard time getting the play, and he finally does with 5 seconds on the play clock.
They got to go. He does get the snap in time, does Brady, and
no
has
catch.
time to throw. Bounces it in, though,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Good throw. It just coming back forward, ball hits the turf first. So it looks like Jacksonville's going to punt the football here and play a little field position as the Indians drive stalls at the 39 of Whitehouse. Jesus Nunez will come out, who is in the running for the Dark Chiropractic Bone Crusher hit of the game. You heard me
He
right.
sure is.
The 5'6", $145 kicker who may have the Bone Crusher hit of the game on that opening kickoff. He leveled the guy, stopped him from scoring the touchdown. He'll be standing at Jacksonville's 48 to punt the football. Gabe Stroud deep for Whitehouse.
Kind of that rollout punt, the soccer style from Nunez. This one will force Stroud back inside the 5, and the Indians all over this one as Stroud only gets back to about the 7 before he's dumped.
Drew Dials getting downfield. What's that rule? If the ball's inside the 10, you let it go, and he did not, did Stroud, unfortunately for him. And there was Drew Dials, the junior, who will stay out to play linebacker for Jacksonville. He drills him.
So we saw Dials earlier in the ball game with some great quarterback pressure, and this would be a good spot for some more of that as well after he made that great stop on the punt return. See what Green and the Wildcats do as they look like maybe they tried to draw Jacksonville off. They're unable to do that. Green, though, fakes a handoff, keeps, and he'll spin ahead for a nice chunk of yardage.
I don't know what's going on with Devereaux, but he is gimpy limpy. I guess he's cramping.
This time it's a handoff straight ahead, and not a lot there for Williams. He does pick up the first down, however.
Clock turned back on with 4:30. Whitehouse has 2 timeouts remaining, by the way. Jacksonville has 1.
So now another handoff, and this time into the Jacksonville secondary. And watch out, into Fighting Indian territory goes number 4. That is Jaron Williams again, a big first down.
And Whitehouse with that up-tempo, they're not even going to give Jacksonville an opportunity to sub right here and give some guys some air. They're ready to go.
2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. H-back in on the left side. Green looks to throw, uncorks it left side, and you got to be careful over there. The
no call.
Pass is incomplete, but that is...
Whew, caught a break. That's nice. Good coverage, though.
Yeah, it was.
Jatavius Kincaid had a nice PBU last week against Sulphur Springs. He was right there. I think that pass was just a little bit too far toward the sideline to be caught. And Kincaid kind of helped that out by, forcing the receiver use the sideline as another defender. So 2nd down 10 for Whitehouse.
Empty backfield for Whitehouse. Now here come the Indians with some pressure. This pass is high. It is caught, but Jacksonville all over it.
Yeah, the play just broke down because I'm not sure why Green sailed that ball. I mean, that's one you got to get in there in a hurry with Jacksonville's speed on defense, and he just kind of floated it out there, and that gave Jacksonville, that's all they needed to close on that one. So 3rd down and 11 to go. No, 3rd down and 14 to go, I should say. Football right at the 50.
So Williams will stay in with Green in the backfield. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Shotgun set. Green rolls to his left, throws, got a man, makes one man miss, and then another, and he will score. That is Braylon Jackson.
Well, Jackson's been the man for him last week, and tonight he's had some big catches, and that one from 50 yards out as the Fighting Indians bit the fake. And, man, he just, for lack of a better comparison, not lack of, but a good comparison, that looked like Jermaine Taylor last week. He just got it, and he just physically outran everybody. So with 3 minutes remaining in the first half, That one hurt. Now it's the 3-score lead here going in at the half. Unless you can steal one here with 3 minutes to go.
So Bo Benson on to attempt the extra point, brought to you by Neighbors Coffee. This kick is up and good. So with 3 minutes to go here in the first half, the score now, Whitehouse 23, Jacksonville 6. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
That 100% beef Whataburger takes 2 hands and all of your attention. So yeah, now's the time to sneak that fry. Good thing there's plenty to savor. Good thing there's Whataburger.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Wildcats have extended their lead to 23-6. That 3-score difference now, Matt, is starting to be a bit of a problem for Jacksonville, but Didi Morris will field this one and try to make a little bit out of the return, and he'll make his way to about the 35.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9-6, and everything feels good for Jacksonville, and then before you know it, a couple of big plays, and it's breakdowns. I mean, it's like the one play that breaks you, like the kickoff return, right? And then you get them down in 3rd down and 14, and then they pop just a simple out route. You got him covered. You can stop him. You make nobody tackles, and he goes the distance for 50. The football's that way sometimes. You think you're playing well, and you feel like you're in it, and boy, before you know it, you're down 23-6 because of a couple big plays.
Now Jacksonville looking for a couple of big plays of their own to answer back. We'll see what McCallan can do, as he's got 2 receivers on his left side, and he'll go over there to one of them and pick up a few.
He's looking downfield to Taylor. Decided to check it down to Zeke for about, let's see the spot, for about 3, 2nd and 7. Clock continues to run. Well, you don't want to go 3 and out here and give Whitehouse the ball back another time here before the half. I mean, at least get a couple first downs and go in, just down 23-6, don't give another chance.
So now McCowan going to look to this near side of the field, and he overthrows Taylor, who wanted a flag, but he's not going to get it.
No, Jermaine, slow down and let that guy kind of run into him a little bit.
Yeah,
he wanted a flag. That's not a flag.
No.
He's trying
to see what he can get.
Yeah, he's a lobbyer. I mean, he lobbies for stuff. He reminds me. His mentality reminds me of Michael Irvin. He's talking all the time. He's asking for calls from the refs. He's a talking dude, is Jermaine. Incomplete.
So now 3rd down and 7. You'd love to have a conversion here. If you're the Indians, they'll have 2 receivers on each side.
Oh, that's interference.
This time you throw.
What? Whoa, wait a minute.
And now, the flag should fly there, and they don't.
And Jason Holman is beside himself. Cannot believe there was no call right there. I mean, the ball's in the air and contact. I mean, they're hitting Jermaine in the head. Wow.
And no call.
Nothing. On the Whitehouse sideline. Interesting. Okay.
So Nunez on to punt on this fourth down. 2:10 to go here in the first half of play. And you just You cannot let Whitehouse score here. They're going to take the timeout as Whitehouse. We'll take it with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Hubert Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse. 2:10 to go in the first half. And a fourth down situation coming up here after the timeout from Whitehouse. So Jesus Nunez on to punt.
Need a good snap and need a good boot right here for Jesus. Ryan Walker with a snap.
Good punt coverage last
roughing.
time.
Yeah, there's going to be roughing the kicker.
And this one will take an Indian roll down inside the 20.
And Jesus
stays down.
He took a shot. I mean, hammered. I mean, that was way more than running into the kicker.
Yeah.
Leg extended. Took a shot in the ribs. Bent him up. Jacksonville will maintain possession of the ball. More importantly now, how is Jesus Nunez?
So the 15-yard penalty and the first down for Jacksonville. But Jesus still down, and I think we'll take a short break here, Matt. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
It's not a leg or a knee.
And we are back live here as Jesus Nunez making his way off the field under his own power. Seemed to be maybe favoring his ribs, but not that you like to have that injury, Matt, but as a punter, you're really glad it isn't a leg or a knee.
Yeah, I mean, waist down, that's the concern. I mean, he'll have some bruised ribs and have a hard time sleeping. He's up, he's breathing good. He's just kind of knocked the wind out of him, too.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville gets another opportunity after the roughing penalty. Hey, 2 minutes to go, one timeout. You're in Wildcat, their side of the 50 at the 47. Let's see what happens.
2 minutes to go. Jacksonville with a chance to capitalize on the penalty that extends the drive. McCowan fires for the slant route looking for Whitaker and incomplete.
Yeah, that one was a little bit high for Zeke to pull that one down. So incomplete, stops the clock with 1:56. Don't see Jermaine out there right now. Got that Hoffpower in, Zeke split right. Or is that Jermaine in the slot over there? Yeah, it's Jermaine.
Yeah, Taylor on the right side slot.
Look out.
McCowan going to have a little bit of time. Now spins out of trouble, but he can't get away.
Oh, man. Look at that Hoffpower down here by me, down at the 30.
Yeah.
He had nobody. If Brady could have just flicked it out here just a little bit. Oh.
Pressure on for Whitehouse up front, sacking the quarterback. Back at the 47. Third down.
So now 3rd down and Jacksonville behind the chains. 1:20 and counting here first half. See what the Indians choose to do here. Got to go quick.
It's a delay.
Yeah.
It's a delay. I mean, it was on 0 for about a second and a half.
Yep, and there's the call.
Wow.
Not quite sure what the mix-up in communication there was.
Say again? 2 timeouts?
Yeah,
What?
Jacksonville should have 2.
Well, I mean, it said 1 a minute ago, then it went to 2. Now it's at 3.
So
oh, is that
yeah,
okay?
The timeouts.
There it is, the 2. I see the 2. Yeah.
So the timeouts are in the middle by the game clock, and so McCown under pressure fires over the middle, incomplete. He took a shot, did McCown, but he's back up. But yeah, on this scoreboard map.
Yeah, there I found it. Yeah. So what's the 4 up by Indians? I'm trying to figure that out. What is that?
So that's the down.
Oh.
So you got down and distance on the left side, and then you've got quarter on the far right side.
I hate that clock. That's weird.
And then the ball, the spot at the 42.
Okay, I see it now.
Yep.
All right, a little different.
So Nunez is back out here for this punt attempt, as unfortunately Jacksonville unable to get going. That's a high snap, but he gets the kick away, and it'll roll down dead, though, at the Wildcat 37.
So 49.4 seconds and 2 timeouts for Whitehouse left, or excuse me, is that 1? There I go again. It's 1, right? Or is that 2?
Well, the scoreboard shows 2, still shows 2.
I mean, I don't know. It's just strange right there, the way they have it laid
So,
out.
yeah, so the down and distance is on the far left side of the scoreboard. The quarter and the ball spot is on the right, and the timeouts are in the very middle of this scoreboard, which is a kind of a peculiar setup. Here's a deep ball from Green. 1-on-1. Flags come in.
Terrible.
Is they're going to get.
That's tough for Jacksonville right there.
That's a tough break.
Now, it's marked from the spot of the, from the line of scrimmage, so it's not like college or, NFL where it's down there where the foul was.
Yeah, that's still a tough break, though, because Kincaid played that really well.
I thought he was over the top pretty well, at least side by side, and they both reached for the ball. Nah. One of those calls you don't get sometimes, so automatic first down for the Wildcat, stops the clock with 42.4.
So if you're Jacksonville, you just cannot let Whitehouse score again. A deep ball this time is just incomplete over Lane Hooker.
Kincaid for Jacksonville. He got behind him. He got beat that time. Fortunately, he was overthrown. Haven't seen Kincaid beaten too many times in these first 2 ball games. That time he was. He'll check out and get some air.
Yeah, Green took a shot right there, and Hooker had him beat. You said it, Matt. So now on 2nd down, Green rolls to his right, throws, caught right at the sticks.
Braylon Jackson with the catch. It's going to be short of the first down by about a yard, maybe 2. Let's see where they spot it. That's it's less than a yard. Clock stops with Jackson going out of bounds at 25.7.
Two receivers on the left, one on the right. The handoff straight ahead and nowhere to go.
Interesting. If you don't get the first down, you got to burn that timeout, and they have not marked the first down. He did not get it. It's 4th. There's the timeout. Thought that was an interesting call by Whitehouse right there.
So 14 seconds to go here in the half.
Meaning I would have done, an option with Green, either throwing or running.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonville's done a nice job in the gaps defensively, against the run. It's the edges they've had problems with. So 14 seconds remaining, 23-6 Whitehouse. Definitely don't want to give up a score here and going into the half with that one. So Jason Holman talking to the officials right now about something with the clock. Fans, stay with us. We'll have our halftime talk, sponsored by All Smiles with head coach Jason Holman. Jacksonville High School Band, Cherokee Charmers, Jacksonville Majorettes will also perform. And then we'll have the Randy Gorham halftime stats, all this on the Whataburger halftime report. We appreciate Whataburger sponsoring all of our halftime reports. Whitehouse now back out on the field offensively. We've got the play call, 4th down in inches.
So we'll see if Jacksonville can hold here. And this is just a handoff straight ahead. Good for first down yardage.
Whitehouse has got that one timeout. They don't want to use it yet.
I think they've called it, yeah.
Yeah, they should. 7.9. The chains were just getting moved. And I mean, the clock really should not have started because the chains were still way down, Aaron. Jacksonville gets a break right there, forcing them to use the timeout.
Yeah, so 7.9 to go here. Whitehouse with time for one more shot. They could be in Bo Benson's field goal range. Ryan Travis.
I mean, one more play maybe an out route to the 25. Still, that'd be a 42-yarder if they got that. I mean, right now the ball's at the Jacksonville 32, so that's 49-yarder
It'd be
from
49,
there.
Yeah, 49 from where it sits now.
I don't see that happening.
So we'll see.
So, I mean, with 7.9, if you're Whitehouse and you are looking for a field goal, you're going to have to throw an out route and just as quick as possible.
Yeah, because now you're out of timeout, so you've got to stop the clock again.
Well, or they take a shot to the end zone here in Jacksonville. Look at them defensively. They fanned out.
Yep. Green going to load up, now rolls to his right. Now back to the left. Here comes Michael Miles. He's blocked, and Green going to load up and heave toward the end zone. The quarter runs out.
Tipped by Zeke.
Knocked away by Zeke, and at the end of the first half, the score, Whitehouse 23, Jacksonville 6. And Matt, will send it down to you for the All Smiles halftime coach's interview.
All right, we'll get Coach Holman. I'll walk his way. He's putting his headset up here, and he'll come over and visit with us as the Jacksonville Band, Charmers, Majorettes get in gear here. We'll try to catch him on the sideline right here. Coach, it doesn't feel like you're down 23-6, but you are. I mean, they had some big plays to make it that way, but somewhere this thing just got up. You got down 17.
Huge, disappointed first half. We've given up too many plays. We can't make good in the red zone. Very disappointed we're not playing, bottom line. We should be in this game and should have the lead.
Kickoff returns, my goodness, I know what y'all are going to be working on this week. I mean, they've done, Whitehouse, got to give them credit. They've had 2 big returns, and they did something with them. Only got the field goal on the 1, though.
Well, it's across the board. I mean, we're not focused offensively. We're not focused defensively. We're certainly not focused in the kicking game. We got to regroup. We got to decide we want to play and decide we want to win a game.
Coach, I'm going to let you go. I know you got a lot to tell them.
If they'll do it, we'll win it.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Head coach Jason Holman, I could tell he was ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's
he has work to do.
I'm not going to sit there and ask stupid broadcaster questions when he's needing to go in there and talk to his team. Not a happy guy right now, Jason Holman. Guys, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we have the Cherokee Charmers, we have the Jacksonville High School Band, and the Jacksonville Majorettes.
Sounds good. We'll take a short break and come back for the Whataburger halftime report and more. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium here on the Whataburger Halftime Report. I'm going to throw it down to Matt Montgomery for the Jacksonville Halftime Show.
Thank you, Ryan. Let's listen to the PA announcer introducing the halftime show for Jacksonville High School. Let's listen in.
Charmer Sergeants for the 2023-24 school year are Sergeant Hazel Modesto, Sergeant Ashton Washburn, Sergeant Kaylee Galvan, Sergeant Ada Pacheco, Sergeant and Chaplain Rebecca Orr, and Head Sergeant Alyssa Nance. Charmer officers from left to right are First Lieutenant Mia Sanchez, Junior Lieutenant Anna Sanford, Junior Lieutenant Krishley Bonzukin, and in the center, Captain Andrea Hernandez. The Charmer of the week is Kirsten McDaniel. Watch now as the Charmers perform a dazzling palm routine to Land of 1,000 Dances. The Charmers are under the direction of Maddie Montgomery and Tiffany Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, the award-winning Cherokee Charmers. And now, introducing the Jacksonville Indian Majorettes, directed by Brianne G. Twirler officers for 2023-24 are Junior Lieutenant Angeles Grimaldo, Senior Lieutenant Alyssa Wright, First Lieutenant Juliana Salazar, and in the center, your captain, Natalie Joseph. This week's Twirler of the Week is Whitney Griffin. Watch now as the Twirlers perform to the Elvis Presley classic, Viva Las Vegas. And now, JISD is proud to present the Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Band. The band is under the field direction of senior drum majors Brennan Hack, Juan Pablo Hernandez, and Luis Ortega. Tonight, the band will perform a traditionary military drill to Bacchus Fanfare and K.L. King's Pride of Arizona March. Now at the center of the field, one of the most decorated military marching bands in the great state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that cry heard across the land. The Jacksonville Fightin' Indian Band.
Yeah, you're way here, sorry.
The Fighting Indian Band is under the direction of Donnie Barrier, Preston Parker, Preston Long, Catherine Barrier, Kim Beard, and Breanne G. Freshmen of the week are Jackson Penn and Shania Stevens. Band members of the week are Jasmine Warren and Oliver Cumbie. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band.
Well, another outstanding performance by the Jacksonville High School Band, Cherokee Charmers, and the Majorettes as the Jacksonville halftime concluded here on the Whataburger Halftime Report. Guys, I'm going to toss it back to y'all upstairs for the stats sponsored by Randy Gorham.
Thanks, Matt, and looking forward to bringing you those stats here at halftime. But, hey, before we do that, let's go to a new segment that we debuted last week that's been a lot of fun. It's time to Ask the Indians.
Oh. Tyran? Probably Tyran. Yeah. Probably Tyran.
Me.
My mate.
No, I just put Me. JB. Me. You got some bars? Yeah, me. He's freestyle. No, I can't. No, not on like. You can't throw me out there. You can't throw me out there. Throw my beat on. I don't know. It's Jordan Dorsey. No. Jordan Dorsey.
That boy Jerry Break?
Yeah, it's definitely me.
Bad. Yeah, it's probably bad. You know, it's just a little man in him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, guys. So who do we think is the best singer on this Fighting Indian team? Or should they all stick to football?
They should most likely stick to football. Although, I am interested to hear Jaden Boyd rap, because apparently he can freestyle.
Yeah. He's just got to have a little bit of time to kind of come up with a plan, I guess.
I asked him if he had some bars that he could just, lay down right there for us, and he was like, "Nah, man, you can't put me on the spot."
You're Ryan. You can't put him on the spot. Well, we are back here at halftime at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse. Unfortunately, Jacksonville has seen this one kind of get away, and is now 23-6 in favor of the Wildcats here at the half. We'll bring in Todd Travis for the first time this evening for the halftime statistics brought to you by Randy Gorham CPA. And Todd, the press box setup here is a little tight, so you've been kind of down the way working hard, but
I would say it's tight, but it's also very inconvenient that we're on the corner of the press box, and you can't see from about the 40-yard line to the end zone on the left side of our field.
If I was sitting here with you, I would not be able to see it. I'd be good on the right half, but not the left.
That's right. It's not that we don't want Todd here with us. It's not that we don't enjoy hanging out with him. It's just that he couldn't do his job in here.
That's true.
Unfortunately. But Todd, the Fighting Indians find themselves down 23-6, and at this time last week we were talking about a pretty balanced-looking Jacksonville offensive attack. Unfortunately, that's not been the case so far tonight.
No, we have had very little success rushing the ball tonight. For the first half, Indians had 10 first downs. They had 14 rushes for a total of 7 yards, and they had 8 receptions for 143 yards. Let me switch to individual.
So, talking about the receiving obviously being a big part of the passing game, being a big part of it, and Brady McCowan's accuracy, and I know you're about to go into individual stats as well, but really that's been on point, Ryan, so far tonight. Brady's ability to to find his receivers. Unfortunately, the offense just looked a little one-dimensional so far.
Yeah, and when the opening kickoff gets run back almost for a touchdown,
Yeah, that's right.
A fantastic tackle by Jesus.
Yeah, it's got to be said.
He's saved us twice from
tonight.
kick returns for a touchdown, and I think that's worth noting because he has been the force back there. It seems like he's done a fantastic job covering on kickoff. But that's not. I don't think that's how the Jacksonville intended to start the game.
Yeah.
And it can be kind of deflating. Now, luckily, the defense came out and held them to a field goal. Really, had they not roughed the kicker, should have held them to no points at all on that first drive. And that's hats off to the defense because they have played pretty well. They've had some short fields on those kickoff returns.
I'm gonna say having had their backs against the wall a few times as well.
That they have. And the offense has looked good at times. We've gone 3 and out a couple times, I think, and that's just never good. And you could tell during the halftime interview that Coach Holman was very frustrated with how that things were going in the first half. And hopefully, he can go give them a little pep talk here at halftime, and we'll maybe see a different Jacksonville team in the second half.
Yeah, and hopefully the ability to bring in a little bit more balance. But, Todd, looking at individual stats for the Fighting Indians, unfortunately those numbers are just a little lopsided at this point.
They are. Not a whole lot to report for that first half, but Brady McCowan, 9 completions on 22 attempts for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Jermaine had 4 catches for 76 yards, and Zeke Whitaker had 3 catches for 47, and Jaden Boyd had 1 catch for 20 yards.
Well, and
it's worth noting that Zeke did have the touchdown.
He did have the touchdown.
He did, and I also was going to say that, Brady officially he does have 1 interception, but we've also got to tip the cap to Jermaine Taylor for a heads-up play on that particular play. He did not stop on the play when the ball was intercepted and ends up the fumble recovery and a new set of downs.
And when he knocked that ball away, I'm not even sure if the defender for Whitehouse knew that it was a catch and a fumble. I think he probably thought, it's just incomplete. I'm not going to worry about it. And Jermaine with a heads-up play there to jump on that ball.
Well, and that's exactly why you play to the whistle. You kind of let the officials sort of make that call, let them sort it out. But as the player in that situation, you need to do what Jermaine did. And a lot of players would not have done that. A lot of receivers would see a ball intercepted and just be frustrated and kind of think, well, unfortunately, maybe I can make a tackle, but, kind of unfortunately my job is done here. But Jermaine on that particular play didn't do that. And so that's one of the things that wouldn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but I wanted to make sure that we highlighted that because that was a great heads-up play. A high football IQ type of a play from Jermaine. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. Todd, let's take a look, I guess, if we will, at the Whitehouse stats and look at how they've racked up their 23 points thus far.
So, individual stats for the first half for Whitehouse. The leading rusher was Jaron Williams with 6 carries for 88 yards. And the quarterback, Josh Green, 12 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown. And Ivan Lacey, 6 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and so we talked about that coming into the ball game, how they like to go fast and they like to run the ball. They like to control the tempo, and that the numbers you just read there, Todd.
178 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, and with 3 or 4 different guys touching the ball and contributing to that.
Yes,
and that has allowed them to continue to go as fast as they've wanted to, and it's been tough on the Jacksonville defense to stay fresh enough, Ryan, to counter that.
They have. The defense has played well both tonight and last week against Silver Springs. But you see the rushing numbers there for the quarterback. He had 12 rushes for 68 yards and a touchdown.
And that's kind of been a struggle so far through these two games is we've done a pretty good job for the most part dealing with the running back, but when the quarterback fakes the handoff and scrambles for potentially several first downs in the first half, that has been kind of a weak spot so far on the Jacksonville defense. So maybe that's something they can talk about at halftime and fix, or it may just have to be something that gets ironed out at practice next week.
Right, and coming into the ball game, we knew that was part of this Whitehouse offense, is that there would be a lot of design runs by Josh Green and then the ball fakes as well. And you've heard, of course, this may be on me. I may just be kind of calling myself out here, but you've kind of heard the effect of the ball fake, because how many times tonight have I told you that a running back's got the ball, look up, and Green's got 15 yards, and then, I've got to eat my words. But that is a testament to maybe two things. Maybe number one, I need to get my prescription checked, and then number two, though, is the effectiveness of the run fake or the read option type game. But even apart from that, we've also seen Josh Green on just design runs.
Yeah.
I mean, where he's running the ball, and it's been difficult to stop. And that's not really a knock on the Jacksonville defense, because as you said, Ryan, they've played well. But it's just that Whitehouse has done a really good job of executing the type of offense that they want to. And we see that in how fast this first half kind of swung. It was the 9-6 ball game, and then you have just a couple of big plays. Obviously, the big kick returns play into that as well when you have the short fields. But this is an offense that can hit you hard and fast, and Jacksonville is kind of having to recover from that. I mean, that's sort of why they're probably sort of a little maybe a little bit shell shocked here at the half. I mean, we heard from Coach Jason Holman just kind of the frustration of. Not that he couldn't believe the game had gotten out of hand, but it's just sort of like, wow, what just happened, because they hit you so quickly.
Yeah, and I think he mentioned during that halftime interview with Matt that he just thought the team was lacking focus tonight. And we've seen Jacksonville last week against Silver Springs run a pretty up-tempo offense, and I haven't really seen that very much tonight. And it seemed to be really effective.
Well, I thought it was pretty effective. Yeah.
It seemed really effective last week, and Whitehouse is running a very up-tempo offense for pretty much the entire first half. And I don't know if maybe that has kind of been a difference too, as we've seen a little bit of a different tempo from the Jacksonville offense. But maybe we will see a little more up-tempo and try to get some quick scores here to start the second half.
Yeah, well, we knew coming into the ball game that Coach Holman this week had been talking about the goal being, for Jacksonville to be the one that controlled the ball, controlled some of the clock, and really kind of did that and took the game to Whitehouse. And unfortunately, as you said, Ryan, the offense has not looked quite the same as it did last week against Sulphur Springs, when Jacksonville was able to do that, really able to sort of control and sort of dictate terms for, a vast portion of that ball game. Because really last week's ball game really only got away from Jacksonville in the fourth, and might not even have done that if the fumble that wasn't had been called correctly. But the point is, Jacksonville needs to find a little bit more of that control, and with it, the tempo that came last week. I think that's an excellent observation, Ryan, and hopefully we can see that from Jacksonville here in the second half. But as things stand right now, it is 23-6. The Wildcats leading the Fighting Indians here at halftime at Wildcat Stadium. The first half stats, thanks to Todd, are brought to you by Randy Gorham, your hometown CPA in Jacksonville. Also, of course, Randy, the mayor of the city of Jacksonville, and celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to Randy, and we'd like to thank him for his sponsorship of Fighting Indian football all season long. And thanks, Todd, for coming along for the halftime stats. And we're going to have to kick you out and send you back down the hall, I'm afraid. But we want you to be able to see. So that's Todd Travis. Thanks as always to Todd, our stats guru. Todd had to scramble, Ryan, a few weeks ago. He had a little bit of an issue as the statistics app that he would use for quite some time. They just decided to shut down, and
they did. Yeah.
And we were able to find another one that's worked well. But yeah, that was one of those things that's completely out of our hands, out of Todd's hands. But
and it was kind of just a lucky thing that we even knew that it was shutting down. I was in the middle of trying to figure out how to get the stats into some graphics for like drive summaries or just player stats, kind of like you see on ESPN, and I happened to look at the website just to see if that was possible, and I'd emailed the guys a couple times, hadn't really heard anything back, and I happened to open it one day, and it's like Digital Scout is no longer going to be we're going offline, essentially, is what they said.
Yeah, in about a week's time, I think, for when
I think we had like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks until the first game. So glad we got that sorted out. The new one seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
I would agree, and glad we were able to do that. But there was a bit of scrambling. I know we were kind of calling around some friends and local colleagues and saying, okay, who do you guys use, and did you know this about this particular app, and so forth. So
yep, glad we got that sorted out. Matt, do you have any scores potentially to share with us
before that? Let's see, Matt, if Matt's with us. Before that, I would be remiss if we wish Randy Gorham a happy birthday today, but also today, thanks to Grace Traylor for this information, today is the birthday of JISD Superintendent Brad Stewart. So a big happy birthday in order for Brad Stewart as well, JISD Superintendent.
Well, it isn't my birthday, but I do have some scores.
Hey, all right. Welcome back, Matt.
So
go
just
around the area.
Just some scores that of interest. Texas High losing right now at in the fourth quarter to Colleyville Heritage, 35-28, 6A Colleyville Heritage. Who's really good? Athens, one of Jacksonville's district opponents. We'll see in 3 weeks. 28-12, they're leading Waxahachie Life. 28-12 with 10 minutes to go in the third. Rusk over Crockett right now at the half, 29-0. Those Longview Lobos up over Marshall 45-7 in the second. Ugh. And Jasper at the half leading Palestine 39-17. Going on down the scoreboard here, the big rivalry in Tyler, the Legacy Raiders over the Tyler Lions 14-7. That's a halftime score. And Hallsville leading Henderson 28-12 with 8 minutes to go in the third. And how about this score? Pine Tree over Lindale with 5 minutes to go in the third, 28-7.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, Pine Tree coming to Tomato Bowl in a couple of weeks for homecoming. At the half, no, check that. I'm sorry. These games must have started earlier.
My dad's showing me here Gilmer and Kilgore, 7-7 in the third quarter.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's a battle.
Crandall, 22-15 over Kaufman at the half. And get this score. With 6 minutes to go in the third, Mount Pleasant 19, Sulphur Springs nothing.
Wow.
How about that?
How about one more? The American State Warrior Bowl over in Bullard tonight. This score coming to us courtesy of former Fighting Indian quarterback Tony Vining. Brook Hill leading Dallas Life Oak Cliff in the third, 54-6.
How about that?
Tony's son Tyler, a junior at Brook Hill this year, playing a little bit of defense and some special teams on the varsity. And so thanks to Tony for that update.
A lot of Jacksonville connections there. Jonah McCown plays quarterback and Luke Cundiff on the offensive line. So we're set to go to start this third quarter. Whitehouse will be kicking off to Jacksonville. Mares deep along with Reese Hicks. Third quarter to get underway, 23-6 Whitehouse. Let's see if Jacksonville can get it rolling. Here's your kickoff, and here's Aaron Swing.
Kick is on the way. Short near side and a fair catch made. And so Jacksonville will go back to work here in the ball game, starting off the second half at the Whitehouse 28, the Jacksonville 28.
Yeah, Jermaine, I'm not sure why he called a fair catch on that one. He had plenty of room to go, and he fair caught it. So Cody Schmidt, one of the Jacksonville coaches, looking at him like, dude, you're the man. What are you doing? I mean, take it and go. So the fair catch does come down at the 29 of Jacksonville. Of course, you heard Coach Jason Holman at the half, and you could tell by his comments that he's looking for a lot more from his team in the second half here. Brady McCowan will be joined in the backfield by Didi Mares. We got motion on Jacksonville. Not a good start. The focus right now for Jacksonville just doesn't seem to be there. Whitehouse is playing, they played a first half of intensity. They finished plays, and Jacksonville, not saying they didn't play, they played terrible. They just didn't play like they did last week with as much intensity, it felt like. 1st and 15.
So now 2 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right, and
there it is.
That's Zeke Whitaker. He's got it, and he's got the Bill McCray Ford first down.
4th catch for Whitaker. They had a big first half catching the football, and that's one of those, hey, live by the sword, die by the sword. Again, press coverage. Zeke beats it. Brady finds him. First down, Jacksonville.
This time, McCown hands off straight ahead.
Mars.
Few for Didi there.
And for the first time, we'll see Jacksonville's Josh Gaskin, who's out last week with a shoulder. He's back this week, the junior. He's another one of those running backs that we're going to see that he can get up the field. That JV experience, was a starter there.
Now McCown going to load up, fire left side, double coverage over there, incomplete.
Oh, Jermaine wants the flag. I'm not sure there's a flag there. Look, he was jumping for the ball, and it looked like somebody did push him in the small of the back, which is why he didn't come up with it. So 3rd down and 9. After the big first down catch by Zeke Whitaker. Stalling here. Jacksonville at their own 45. 3rd down. 10 to go.
McCown loads up, fires right for Whitaker.
Well
flag
played.
comes
Oh,
in.
man. Now what? Then that's a flag? I don't get it.
Yeah, that was.
I thought that was a good defensive play by Whitehouse.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That looked like it was covered really well.
I guess the only thing, and of course I don't have replay down here, maybe he put his hand in the small of the back of Zeke Whitaker right there and kind of pushed him. Can't make contact, but man, it looked like he just came over the top and knocked it down. The interference plays that look like interference don't get called, and that one right there looked like a great play by Whitehouse, and they call it. Jacksonville, they'll take it.
Yeah.
They're going to take that penalty. First down for the Fighting Indians. Pushes it to the 50.
So now the handoff is
Gaskin.
Straight ahead to Gaskin, and he is shoved back. Get a little forward progress, but
it is totally different than last week with Sulphur Springs when it just looked like the Red Sea opening with Jacksonville's offensive line and their zone blocking. And Whitehouse is doing something where they are filling those gaps, and there is nothing to run through if you're a Jacksonville running back.
So it looks like they'll say there was a loss of 1 on that last play. So now McCowan fires right again.
Same play, no call.
Same coverage it looked like. Just about to say.
So 3rd down. I like going back to the well like that. I mean, look, if they're going to press coverage like that, the slant's going to be there if you got speed like Zeke does. They do make the play there. So 3rd and long for Jacksonville on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
See if the Indians can keep it going here with McCown. He's going to go deep for Zeke this time. Overthrows him, though, incomplete.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Whitehouse. The ball was overthrown, and thank goodness, because Whitehouse had the angle, and that would have been picked off because Zeke was behind the defender there. So here comes Jesus to try to angle this thing and maybe get some field position for Jacksonville. Jesus' nickname is Chewy. I don't know. I'll
See if he
find out
can
why.
chew up some field position here.
Yeah, hopefully he can. Oh, no.
Here comes a little bit of pressure, and yeah, we all had the same thought. That's going to take a nice Indian roll, though. Down about they'll spot it about the 5. So,
Aaron, I think the Whitehouse defender there, I mean, I think he chickened out. He could have blocked that.
Yeah.
He stopped. I mean,
Yeah.
when Jesus came out with his soccer style, all the guy had to do was just kind of lean a little bit, and it's a block, and he didn't. Thank you. So Jesus puts it down there deep for Whitehouse to start their first offensive possession of the second half.
So all the way back at their own 5-yard line of the Wildcats. So they'll just try to run up the middle to get out of the shadow of their end zone. Not a whole lot there.
Jacksonville stopped that up pretty good. About a yard gain on the play, pushes it out to the 6.
Gain of a yard.
So now a handoff, and Jacksonville swallows it up again.
Miles slid off the block very, very nicely right there. Gets down the line of scrimmage, and Boyd helps him. And nice lock-up tackle by Michael Miles, the junior, with help from Jaden Boyd. So third down, 10 to go. That pushes the ball, a loss of 1, back to the 5.
So the Indian defense a chance to capitalize on Nunez's great punt and their good work on the first 2 downs here. See if they can keep Whitehouse locked up here. As this time Green goes over the top. He's got a man. He's got a first down.
Braylon Jackson, he has been a thorn in the side for Jacksonville's secondary tonight. Green finds him for the first down. They're hurrying up.
Yeah, Green going to sling this one out to the left side, and looked like the receiver, he made the catch. He went down to a knee, it looked like, to make it, though.
I thought so, too.
I think they gave him the extra yardage, though. The handoff straight ahead, and Whitehouse, like you said, they're ready to go quick. He picks up the first down.
Well, Michael Miles had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He didn't lock up. Didn't pull him down.
So we'll go under the 8:20 mark here. Now they'll stop the clock, as it looks like another fighting Indian down, unfortunately, on a night that I've seen quite a few Jacksonville players struggling with injuries.
I think that's Zeke. At the end of the play, he was kind of in a weird position when Lacombe, the running back for Whitehouse, got tackled and thrown into him and just hit him in the lower shin area. So that's what they're looking at right now. I believe that's Zeke. I can't get that number as he lays back down.
Yeah, and
it's a cramp.
Zeke.
Okay, it's a cramp. Jason Krause working that leg back and forth. That's all. It's just a cramp.
Yeah, he's able to get up under his own power, Zeke, and I think he'll be all right. Might need to get some fluids on board and work that cramp out, but should be back in the ball game.
So Jacksonville, they'll bring their defense to the line of scrimmage here. Looking at it. Well, I didn't get the down. There's it. First down.
Yes.
Yeah, they got the first down on that play. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to figure out that scoreboard. I don't know what it is. I went to A&M, but I thought I could figure it out, but whatever.
So 2 backs this time, and
oh my gosh,
Green going to keep, and he will pick up another first down.
Green, 195 pounds. He's a horse. He's got that lower body, that squat body. Mentioned earlier that he went to the state wrestling meet this last year as a junior, and you can see his physicality there on that run.
Deep
Wheel
pass
route.
right side, caught, and this is trouble as Whitehouse finds themselves back in the Fighting Indian red zone.
Nice route on the wheel. Come out, you fake going to the sideline, and you turn up the field.
This time handoff straight ahead. Gets a few back to the 10.
Jacksonville subbing in Dorsey for Bowens.
We go with the two-back look again. Do the Cats. This time Green rolls left, throws, and incomplete.
Good pressure by Jordan Dorsey, who just checked into the ball game, and deceptively fast is Jordan. And I don't think Josh Green thought, oh, this is number 75. Oh, God, he's on me.
Yeah.
It was shock. There he
Jordan
was.
Jordan is featured in a few good plays tonight to go along with a few from last week. He's starting to make a name for himself.
He caused Green's pass right there. I think him to throw it sooner than he wanted to, and that caused it to be incomplete. So 3rd down, 7 to go. Whitehouse can get a first down at the Jacksonville 3.
2 right, 1 left, 1 back. The handoff straight ahead to the back, and Hugh will be
4th down
to the 6. So see what Whitehouse chooses to do here. Probably going to go for it, I would think.
Well, they just had so much success between the tackles running the ball. If not, Green pulls it and goes around the edge. I'd go for it right here, no doubt, the way their defense is playing. If they don't get it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Green fakes a handoff now.
Oh, wow.
Over the top, incomplete.
What a break for Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Green just overthrew him. Nice. Jacksonville, they drive the length of the field. Where do they start that drive? At their 4?
5.
At the
5, yeah.
Yeah. Started at their 5. They end up at the Jacksonville 6 with no points.
Yep.
Shoot up a lot of clock. Didn't come up with the score. So,
well, yeah.
You don't give up points if you're Jacksonville. Bend, don't break.
Well, I'll tell you what, in what must have been a running clock second half at Brook Hill, the final score over there, Brook Hill 61, Life Oak Cliff 12. So the guard improved to 1-1, and Jacksonville's seen a few of those on both sides, and both sides in this rivalry against Whitehouse too.
Yeah, that 56-0 in '88. The first time they played was a running clock.
Yeah,
I remember.
Two receivers on the left, one on the right for McCowan, looking left, throwing, and incomplete.
Had 2 receivers in the same area. I'm not sure if Drew Dials was supposed to maybe bend that a little bit more into the inside than he did, as Taylor went over the top of him, and then here comes Dials. That ball was thrown more toward the middle of the field. Incomplete. Brady had a little time to throw that right there. That was nice.
Now straight ahead run.
That's the first pop by Mares, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Mares with a carry. That's his best run of the evening. Punches it out to the 10. 3rd down and 6.
So now McCowan loads up, fires on the slant, incomplete.
Yeah, just good defense right there by Whitehouse. Again, got over the top, slapped it down, took the slant away. You know, that's where Jacksonville's receivers, they got to get more separation. I mean, they got to use their upper body, they got to get past them, they got to push off, not in an interfering way to get the call, but they're just not creating enough separation on those slant routes. Zeke did earlier, but now Whitehouse is starting to kind of tighten up a little bit as Jesus now will punt this football from his end zone.
So Jesus hit the great punt last time out, but he's going to have to really give this one a ride. And unfortunately, that is not what happened.
You saw it coming.
Yep.
Touchdown Whitehouse on the block.
For the touchdown.
I don't think you're in your end zone. I don't think you want to do the soccer style thing. You want to get it out of there. You want to take the snap, go punt it, get it out.
Well, we talked about that on that last punt too, that if the Whitehouse defender hadn't stopped, that punt would have been blocked.
That would have been blocked.
And he stuck with the exact same approach, that soccer-style punt.
Well,
I mean, that is the one place you can't do that.
What's the number one thing you want to do when you're punting out of your end zone?
Get it out
You want to
quick.
get the punt off.
Yeah.
All right? So he took way too much time on the soccer style, running out there, rugby style, and Whitehouse gets the block for the score.
So now Bo Benson on to attempt the extra point, brought to you by Neighbors Coffee, downtown Jacksonville, and it is good. So with 5:28 to go here in the third, the score now Whitehouse 30, Jacksonville 6. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse, where the Wildcats have extended their lead to 30-6 after a blocked punt resulted in a touchdown as Jesus Nunez just unable to get that punt out of the end zone.
Well, we kind of saw it coming. I just hate that I'd rather it would have been blocked in the middle of the field like we thought it was a moment ago instead of out of your end zone. Tough. Now it's starting to get away from you.
So it's, I
If you
feel
don't-
like we've said on almost every drive that if you're at Jacksonville, you've got to score.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, it feels
even more true now. And this time, fielded pretty cleanly by Mares. A little burst, and he'll make his way out near the 40.
Well, I just love the toughness of Didi Mares. I mean, he's fair caught some of those, but you know what? You're down 30-6. You got to make something happen here. He says, "I'm not fair catching this one. I'm going to go up in the teeth of the grinder," and he did. So offensively for Jacksonville, they just haven't seemed to get in a flow tonight. They've had some nice plays every now and then, but then once they get a big first down, before you know it, it's 3rd and 11, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, and so they just can't seem to get in a rhythm. I tell you, the best rhythm they had was when they drove down the field and got down to the 1st and goal and couldn't get it in. Since then, it's been rough.
Two receivers on the right, one on the left of the Indian formation. The handoff from McCowan.
Hicks.
Straight ahead to Hicks. He moves the pile, but looks like he may have lost the ball. Whitehouse saying they have it. And they do. And so just like that,
Sometimes with that second effort, third effort, as hard as re-6, we saw it last week.
Well,
and when with the fumble that wasn't, it was still close enough. They called it. Now the officials
I'll tell you
are
what I was
talking.
going to say, Matt. I don't know that we actually saw. I saw a lot of hands in the pile, but none of them apparently belong to the officials, so we haven't got an official call yet.
They called it a fumble.
There it is. So it is recovered by the Wildcats.
I mean, I love the effort. I love the effort by re-6. The second, the third effort to kind of keep the pile moving. That's when the hands come in and start trying to strip the ball. When you get in those situations, that's when you got to squeeze the ball even harder because they're coming and they're trying to strip it.
And so Whitehouse right back in business. Little reverse here. And
nice
excellent pursuit.
Drew Dials with the tackle.
Yeah, Dials just dumped Braylon Jackson. And Dials has been a name that we've called quite a bit tonight as he's made himself known.
Of course, Dre Dials was a 2-year starter for Jacksonville on the offensive line the last couple of years. He graduated in 23 earlier this year, and Drew has stepped in to keep the family Dials name going. He's a junior. A receiver/linebacker. That's an interesting combination there, huh?
Yeah, you don't see that one every day.
Look at this formation.
So now Green going to load up. Looks like he's going to roll to his left and run. He's got all kinds of room, and he's able to make his way all the way down to the Jacksonville 22 for big first down yardage.
Jacksonville just completely lost contain right there on the edge, and Green makes them pay for it again. I mean, Green's he's not flashy. He doesn't just wow you with the way that he runs or throws the ball. He just gets the job done. He reminds me of Colt McCoy, the way that he plays. I don't know, he wears that number 12. He just kind of looks like him too.
Yeah. This time it's going to be Green again, and he will take it down inside the 10. Still on his feet is Green, and boy, and a flag comes in late.
That's a face mask, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's down inside the 5. And
he carried the pile for 8 yards with his leg strength. I mean, that guy's he's in the weight room squatting. That's a squat run right there. That is a squat run down to the Jacksonville 5, and we'll see if they get some more yards tacked onto it with a lot of times in those scrums like that, you see a face mask. It's there at the 5. It's going to be half the distance, so it's first down anyway. Man, the wheels on this bus have just fallen off too quickly.
They really have, and we we're kind of breaking this down at the half. Last week at the half, we were able to talk about a pretty offensively balanced game for Jacksonville, and it was just a game they were in, and gosh, it just doesn't look like the same type of ball game at all.
Well, the offense is not helping Jacksonville's defense. I mean, your offense has to possess. You have to keep the ball. You have to keep drives going, which is what Whitehouse has done to Jacksonville tonight. I mean, time of possession is definitely going to be in Whitehouse's favor. And like I said, I mean, when you keep your defense on the field that much, Whitehouse is going to take advantage of that.
And so now the Cats looking to punch another one in. Green going to keep, and he'll do just that. Touchdown. And now you've got to just make sure you got to keep your head if you're Jacksonville players at this point. I mean, this is the type of situation where you could see, just kind of extra stuff after the whistle and things like that you just can't have. And so,
it's obvious. It's been going on for years. Whitehouse talks trash.
Yeah,
they do. They talk trash after the plays, especially when they get the lead. They start saying stuff, and Jacksonville has to have a little bit. They got to have a little bit more upstairs, if you will. And the flag comes down. Jacksonville's got to have some self-control and know what they're doing, know what Whitehouse is doing when they say those things and poke at them. You got to keep your composure.
Yeah, I think, and of course the whistle's blew, but I think Benson actually was able to boot that one over the band, and so he'll.
Well, now Miles is checking out of the game. Like, was he thrown out? Was he? He's leaving right now. He's ejected.
And so, Michael Miles called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Now,
was that his second one? Is
now,
that why they rejected him?
The official said that it was his first, which it would be, but then he said, I thought that he's ejected. Now, that's not how that works.
Jason Holman is asking the head linesman right now about that. He's bringing over the official because Jason Holman said that was his first one. Now, unless you wrote it down in your little card saying that was his second one, he shouldn't be ejected.
Yeah, and I mean, the referee in the white hat made the announcement over the microphone that it was his first, But then I think he proceeded to say he was ejected.
Jason Holman apparently is satisfied with the explanation because he's walking off, and Jacksonville just lost probably their best defensive player ejected.
And
I
so
don't
now
know.
they'll line up again for the extra point, brought to you by Neighbors Coffee. This kick on the way from Benson is good. And so with 3:51 to go here in the third quarter, the score now, Whitehouse 37 and Jacksonville 6. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Jacksonville football on JISD Live.
We'd like to say thank you to tonight's team meal sponsor, Commerce Street Draft House. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville athletics.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back live, 3:51 to go here in the third quarter. Whitehouse leading Jacksonville now by a score of 37-6. And Matt, you did get some clarification there.
Yeah, Miles isn't
with regards to Miles.
Yeah, he is not ejected.
Okay, so it was his first unsportsmanlike, so I wasn't exactly sure. Maybe I misheard the referee.
No, I heard the guy on the PA. He said ejected.
Okay, well.
But he said it was weird. He said that was his first personal foul, and he's ejected. What? And I can't find Miles. Is he in the field somewhere?
So now the kickoff deep into the end zone.
What?
And
What's he
Jacksonville
doing?
going to go for the return here. And
oh, look at Jermaine.
Look at Jermaine Taylor go. He's got one man to beat. He beat him. He may go all the way. Jermaine Taylor is not going to be stopped. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
105 yards. No, that's what the end zone is 10.
That's 10 yards.
He was back at the back of the end zone. That's 108, and that's going to break. Sorry, Chris Carpenter, who's about to start your first game tomorrow night at UTSA. Jermaine Taylor just broke your record that you set in Lindale on the kickoff return. 108. Jermaine Taylor.
Wow. Maybe that's the spark you need for if you're Jacksonville.
Nice. I just said, what are you doing bringing it out?
Yeah.
Good decision.
That's what he was doing, Matt. And so now the extra point attempt brought to you by Neighbors Coffee.
Good grief.
Snap gets away. Nunez ends up with it. He's going to
don't do that.
Try to throw for two. No good.
Man, that snap and was,
wow.
I mean, you know, you got, I don't know. Hey, you got your backup holder in there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Still, what an exciting run by Jermaine.
Yep, and so now it's 3:36 to go here in the third. The score, Whitehouse 37, Jacksonville 12. We'll take the short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Hubert Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, the cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse. 3:36 to go, third quarter. Score now, Whitehouse 37, Jacksonville 12.
Well, I got clarification again.
Yeah, but boy, Jermaine Taylor with the electrifying return. But yeah, Matt, during the break.
Yeah, Michael Miles is not ejected. We established that. So I went up to Coach Holmes and said, hey, Michael Miles is not ejected. He said, He said, I know. I took him out for getting the penalty.
Okay.
So I looked back at Michael and said, yeah, you are ejected.
If coach says you can't play, you can't play.
Well, it's Jason Holman made the right decision. He got the penalty. He's pulling him out.
Yeah.
But he's not ejected from the game. And just if Coach Holman wants him in. Here's the kickoff.
And so the kickoff is high to the near side.
Gosh.
Jacksonville going to need to make a tackle again.
Oh!
And there, Jackson on the return. And, yeah, there's got to be a flag. You've got to think. And nothing there.
Oh, man.
Goodness.
I know y'all could hear me right there. Jason Holman is hollering about it. Somebody the play was about over, and they just came up and hit Jesus in the back and just clipped him up. I mean, nailed it.
Yeah, and he's already been nailed once tonight.
I mean, it was a cheap shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, are you kidding? That is a terrible no call.
Yep.
Sorry.
Missed
I said
that
I wasn't
one.
going to talk about the officiating. Hey, I got to say, these guys tonight are much better than what last week. They are calling stuff. So they're doing a good job. I don't have any problems with their officiating. They're doing a nice job. We've had this crew before. So here's Whitehouse. 3 minutes to go in the third.
So now handoff is straight ahead. Not much there.
It's J-Ron Williams, their leading rusher last week.
Williams to the 45.
So we'll go down under the 3-minute mark as they snap this one. Deep ball this time from Green, and it is incomplete.
Good recovery.
Wow.
Kincaid at the last minute closed. I mean, that's a touchdown. And Kincaid closed nicely and tips it away. Got beat on the play, but he made up for it. Closing speed. So 37-12. Whitehouse. And they're still taking shots downfield.
Yeah.
Nope, they didn't snap the ball there. It should be on
I'm
Whitehouse.
not sure about that.
Offsides Jacksonville. Wait. Did you hear the PA guy?
Offsides against Jacksonville.
He's making the call before the officials signal it.
Yeah.
He's done that twice now. Although I got to say, he does a heck of a job reading names. Did you hear how many names he had to read tonight for all the seniors?
Yeah.
The 66 before the game.
Oh, my goodness.
That didn't include the band.
Yeah.
He did the band at the half, and it was like 50 more.
Yeah. So now a handoff straight ahead, first down yardage.
The offensive line just getting a push now on Jacksonville's defensive front. As the Indians have struggled to sub because of the tempo that Whitehouse employs with their offense. You can't just run guys off and on the field. I mean, if you're out there, you're out there. There's no time. Now, this was a longer break than normal.
2:25 and counting here, third quarter. Whitehouse looking to pile on again, but this pass is incomplete.
Oh, there's a flag. And that's going to go against Hinton.
Yep. Roughing the passer, the call.
Hit him in the head, slapped him in the head. I mean, he did. I saw it. I mean, I could see Josh Green's head pop back after he released the ball. There's no need to do that. So that gives Whitehouse an automatic first down inside the red zone of the Jacksonville 18.
Fouls at the 18-yard line, 2:20 remaining in the third quarter.
So now 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. 1 back. Green rolls left. He's throwing again into the end zone. Incomplete. Still taking shots.
Green, the lefty. I mean, he's not like, I wouldn't call him like an outstanding passer, but he's a very good high school, passer. He gets rid of the ball very cleanly, and sometimes he puts a little bit too much air under it sometimes, but he's a preseason pick to be the offensive player of the year in the district, or MVP in the district.
So now Green going to hand it off straight ahead, and Whitehouse will score again. Williams.
18-yard touchdown run for Whitehouse. As they start to stretch this thing out. The hopes of coming in over here and going toe-to-toe with the Wildcats, who've won 7 in a row over Jacksonville. This will be number 8.
Yeah. Shades of.
It's a bad streak.
Shades of that long streak that started back in the early 2000s.
2005.
Sheesh.
Yep. Jacksonville finally broke it, and they were trading off with it. Here lately, well, since 2016.
Yep, extra point attempt from Benson is up and good, brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. And so 2:06 to go here in the third quarter. The score now, Whitehouse 44, Jacksonville 12. We'll take the short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
And we're back live here in Whitehouse at Wildcat Stadium. 2:06 to go, third quarter. Whitehouse leading 44-12. And Matt, as you've said, the wheels unfortunately falling off
quickly. I mean, you're down 3 scores at the half. I mean, you got to come down, set the tone, get a score. And Jacksonville they didn't do it. I mean, they moved the ball, got to the 50, and it's been downhill ever since, except for Jermaine's 108-yard kickoff return for the score.
Yep, and so now Morris will try to make a return of his own, but he's spun around and dumped at about the 32.
Morris on the return.
So this is the point of the game where if you're Jacksonville, try to get some momentum, try to get some pride back, try to get some feeling back like we're a good football team. We showed last week against Sulphur Springs we can play, all right? Things haven't gone your way tonight. Whitehouse kind of smacked you a little bit, but hey, finish strong. You're heading up to Crandall next week on the road, 5A school, another 5A on the schedule. Prepare by starting right now. You know, what you don't want to see is this continual, Whitehouse scores again. Well, they score again. We go 3 and out. I mean, stop that. Get something going.
So Jacksonville back to work. Is Brady McCowan just going to hand off straight ahead?
Mares.
And Dede will move the pile out to about the 34. Jacksonville going to try to go a little bit up tempo. Well, I thought they were. The receivers were quick to get back into position, but
yeah, if you get 4 or 5 yards, Jacksonville, that's what they did against Sulphur Springs. And the scrimmages, get up the line of scrimmage and go. Mares got dinged up a little bit. He came into the game with a bruised knee, just on the outside of his knee. Took a helmet on it last week. Didn't practice Monday and Tuesday. But he's a gamer. He's in there. He's staying.
So now McCowan drops back, going to load up and fire on a slant.
Good catch, Dials.
And it is made. Catch is made. The Bill McCray Ford first down, and Dials had to go down and get that one off his shoelaces.
Man, nice job. Brady throwing it a little low.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean,
Dials took care of it, went and got it. So
defensive pass interference also tacked on at the end.
Still caught it. So we've seen this movie before. Jacksonville gets moves down the field right here. This is that spot right here where they've been. I think 3 times in the ball game, I think they've gotten past the 50 right here on a big, like a pass play, a slant, and then they stalled. Let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of been the story of the JHS offense.
Look at the press coverage.
We go down under a minute. Yeah, they're up in their faces. And the handoff is straight ahead. Morris rumbling ahead for the Bill McCray Ford first down to the 36 of Whitehouse.
Mars will get a much-deserved break as Gaskin will check in for him, and Mars favoring that leg that he got dinged last week. He took a shot on it again. Nice run by Mares, the junior.
So now Gaskin is in. He'll get the handoff. Will Josh, and he'll
push the
get
pile.
A few, yeah. But the Ford progress eventually stopped.
Get 3, second and 7.
That'll take us, it looks like, to the end of the third quarter. Well, and so, yeah, the clock stopped momentarily, but now the time will run out in the third quarter. So as they switch ends one more time, the score Whitehouse 44, Jacksonville 12. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
And we're back live as we get set to begin the fourth quarter here with Jacksonville looking to finally cap off a drive where they've made their way back into Wildcat territory. And unfortunately, Matt, they've hit a few walls in this situation tonight.
It sure would be nice to convert this drive right here.
So McCown going to look right, throw the one-on-one.
Yeah,
it's caught. Zeke Whitaker with the big Bill McCray Ford first down.
Beautiful catch.
And then out of bounds, but down all the way. They'll spot him. They're going to put him at the 5, it looks like, Matt.
Nice throw by Brady again, throwing it away from the defense. Zeke reaches up and snags it with both hands. First and goal at the 5. Gaskin.
So the handoff now to Josh Gaskin, and he's not able to get rolling. He is the man they call Gas Can.
Yeah, he took a shot. He's going to have to check out. He got cut, and then when he got cut, somebody came in from the other side to the upper body and just kind of bent him like a pretzel. So Jaden Boyd will check in. The backfield with Brady.
2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Boyd, the back. McCown looks left, throws. Underthrew his man. This one may be intercepted, and it is. Well, that is certainly disappointing.
Dials, the intended receiver, Dials fought for it, and they were wrestling around on the ground for it. And then Whitehouse looked like they pulled it. Now the officials are talking. Let's see here.
We could see this. I don't know.
Wait just a minute.
The call going to be here, but result of the play is a touchdown.
Oh, it's a touchdown for Dials.
So
he
Dials,
caught it.
yeah, Dials had possession. Is the call, and then it was stripped after he went to the ground, and so.
Yeah, I got screened from it. I mean, I saw somebody caught the ball, and I saw Dials who had it, and I was about to say touchdown, but then I said, wait a minute, that guy's got it.
Yeah, it looked to be pretty significantly underthrown, which is a credit then to Dials.
Oh, yeah, Dials is taking two off the shoe top.
Going back and getting it.
So here's Jesus. Zeke will hold. Let's see if they can get a snap, hold, and kick here.
Yeah, the extra point attempt brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, downtown Jacksonville. The kick is on the way and good. So now with 11:03 to go in the ball game, the score, Whitehouse 44, Jacksonville 19. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Special thanks to the Jacksonville Education Foundation for everything that they do for Jacksonville students and teachers. For more information, please visit jisdfoundation.org.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite. You're going to love this burger. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium, where the Fighting Indians have just struck again, with Dials making his second great catch of the ball game, Matt, where he's had to go down and get one.
Yeah,
and
first varsity touchdown for Drew Dials.
Yep.
As the Wildcats now have their hands team out, expecting Jacksonville to onside this, which you would expect to do. Of course, 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Jacksonville down 44-19. They need possessions, and Whitehouse knows that, so they don't really. Well, they have one guy back at the 25. And now he's coming back to the 30.
I was going to say he'll even move up because, as you said, Jacksonville needs the ball.
Where is Jay-Sean Bush when you need him? Yeah. Remember him?
Yes.
He would stretch out on these onsides and just snag them out of the air for Jacksonville back in the day.
And he'd get so many of them right after the bounce. They'd just bounce it to the perfect height. And
perfect.
But actually, Nunez actually going to pop this one over the top, and it's fair caught just outside the 20. That's a little bit surprising, I'd say, Matt.
Yeah, me too. I mean, take a shot. I don't know. Maybe they thought they'd muff it. But come out with a little dribble or something, and something happens, you got the ball back. I don't know. That's why they get paid the big bucks, Aaron.
I was just about to say, I don't get paid to make those calls, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad about that.
And I'm not questioning that call.
And so are Jacksonville fans, I can promise you.
Yeah, I'm not questioning it. That's the decision they made.
And so now a handoff straight ahead and a little stretch play here.
He made it a stretch play. It was supposed
Jackson
to go off tackle.
Did, it was, and he just cut back and made something out of nothing.
Yeah, Ivan Lacey. The play was designed to go off tackle, and all of a sudden he says, nope, I'm going to junior high this thing, and I'm going to run straight toward the sideline. It's so funny to watch 7th and 8th graders play football, and they run straight toward the sideline, and then all of a sudden they get on the freshman JV, and they can't do that anymore.
Yep.
They'll catch you.
Now another handoff straight into the pile, and
yank back.
The pile wins.
Yeah. Nice job by Bowens. Foy.
course, the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band going into their what has become a traditional rendition of Hey Baby by Jacksonville native Bruce Chanel. 2 left, 1 right go the receivers. The handoff, though, straight up the middle. And moving the pile.
Come on, guys.
And this is going to be close to first down yardage after that run.
I mean, that's going to be something you're going to look at film this week and you're say, guys, this is weight room right here.
Yeah.
This is where they're beating us in the weight room.
Yeah, that's just a strength run, a squat run, as you said earlier.
It's a squat run. That's what it is. So look at this. What are they doing? Free play here. Look at this. What is Jacksonville doing there?
Green just can try to make something out of this.
I have no idea why Jacksonville defensively was standing up. I mean, the Fighting Indian defense, nobody was down. They were standing up, and Whitehouse, I mean, did you see that? That was weird.
I can't give you a good explanation for why.
You better get set right now. Look at them. Here they come.
So Green hands off again. And Lacombe makes his way to midfield.
Yeah, Lacombe's a good-looking kid. He's a sophomore for Whitehouse, so he's a future guy.
Ball spotted at the 50. Second down.
Now another handoff to Lacombe, and he makes his way ahead, tripped up, and that'll set up a 3rd and 2. So now another handoff and first down yardage.
He's gashing them.
Out ahead to the 41.
You know, when you think of Whitehouse, you think throwing the football, spread offense. All those years, and even before Patrick Mahomes came through here in 2012 and 13, I mean, they threw the football a lot under Randy McFarland back in the mid-2000s. And Westerberg, the third-year coach for Whitehouse, has brought a little bit different mentality and more aggressive, more physical, pancake blocks, run the ball.
Yep, and there's another example with a handoff to Lacombe. He spun down after a few this time. But, yeah, you're absolutely right, Matt. It looks like a totally different type of mentality than we've been used to seeing over here, but it's still effective.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's clear that they're well coached. There's no doubt about it. And I think Jacksonville's well coached. There's just some things that Jacksonville, I think, to me, mentally, that some of the kids have got to learn some things to buy into to get to that Whitehouse mentality, that they're just not there yet. They'll get there, but they're not there yet. They're working on it.
And so now,
good tackle, Gaskin.
A handoff straight ahead as the Wildcats have subbed in, finally, another quarterback, it looks like. Let's see if we can spot the number on that.
Number 9 is...
That's going to be Jacob Carey.
He's a senior.
So getting some of their guys down the depth chart in here with a big lead. Carey going to roll to his right. He takes a big hit, but he also makes a big completion. Flags come in at the end of the play.
Late flag. Carey, the backup quarterback, with a nice little rope there to the out route.
Making that reception for Whitehouse.
Makes the catch, and
Jacob Carey.
Just when we were talking about how well they run the football, they sling one out there like the old days. Face mask on Jacksonville.
Face mask is the call.
I mean, there's penalties that sometimes your players get that are effort penalties that you don't get as upset about.
Yeah.
You still got to eliminate them. You can't have the face mask penalty, but a face mask penalty when you're trying to make a tackle, sometimes that's just an effort. That's an effort penalty that you really can't, not necessarily mental, but you still can't do it.
Right.
Position stand is the only way you can get on the field will be to the south end zone.
2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Kerry going to fake a handoff and keep, and he'll go up the middle. He's slung down, but not before he makes his way inside the 5.
He's a tough little runner. 5'10", 175. I don't think he's that big.
Second and goal.
Boy, they got some dinky dudes in there now. Look at 16 out here by me. Look in the backfield at 29.
Yep. Emptying out as we said, down the depth chart. As Kerry hands off, and Jacksonville all over this one.
Ooh, Gaskin cleaned him up again. Gaskin's a hard-nosed football player, boy.
And good to see him back out there and aggressive on defense after he took that kind of strange hit from his running back position earlier when he was kind of bent over, as you mentioned, and just kind of had to get all the kinks worked out, and he's back out there playing hard. So Jacksonville still looking to make a stop here, playing for pride as Kerry tries to stretch this thing to the left, and Jacksonville tries to pursue. The ball comes out.
He said he's down.
However, the whistle had blown. Oh, man.
Kerry stuck that ball, almost got the goal line, just a little bit outside. I wish we would have had that call last week against Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
Once again, Matt brings up the call against Sulphur Springs. He will get over it one of these days, but not yet.
In the market on the goal. 4th and goal for Whitehouse.
So 4th and goal here. So 3:38 and counting here in the ball game. Kerry going to carry again, and he will score.
Quarterback keeper, Jacob Kerry.
I think I told you guys, if Jacksonville beats Whitehouse tonight or they hang 50 on Jacksonville tonight, I don't know.
Those were your exact words. Yeah, and they just have done that now. They scored 50-19. So
sadly, it was the latter.
Yeah. Now Benson on to attempt another extra point. Extra points brought to you by Neighbors Coffee. This one is up and good. So with 3:33 to go in the ball game, the score now, Whitehouse 51, Jacksonville 19. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Jacksonville football on JISDlive.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
High drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back live here at Wildcat Stadium in Whitehouse, where it has been pretty much all the home team. Matt, certainly a few bright spots for Jacksonville, but unfortunately just too much from the men in black.
Yeah, it's it's one of those self-analysis things that Jacksonville is going to have to go through, because you've played two different football games. You played a good first week, you lost, but you played well, played much better than this. Then you come out here and you had a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of physical mistakes, and let's face it, Whitehouse was physically stronger than Jacksonville. I mean, to me, it was clear that Whitehouse manhandled Jacksonville in a big part of the game. Fixable? Yes.
Yeah. So this kick will be returned.
Ryan Walker.
As Walker's dumped at the 30.
I mean, there's no question. I say there's no question. I mean, we'll see how this is just week 2, because I think last year the Jacksonville just kept getting better and better and better each week. And I think they peaked in the Henderson game, which was week 10, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they coulda, woulda, shoulda, the Palestine game, which would have put them in the playoffs. And I just think after watching last week, it just looked like this team had taken that next step. It looked like they had said, okay, we've closed the gap some. And then tonight is a wake-up call. No, we haven't in some ways. Now, Whitehouse, I don't know. They may win their district. They may not. But tonight, they've shown that they're a more physical football team, and some Jacksonville can watch the video of this and say, okay, I got whipped right there. I got to be stronger.
So now handoff straight ahead. The ball comes out. Whitehouse has got it, and this could be, well, it was almost a scoop and score, but tackle is made, but Whitehouse back in business.
I think that was Mares with a carry, and just
yeah, that'll be his
coughed it up.
Second fumble in as many weeks, unfortunately.
3:19 remaining in the game.
Oh.
Ball going to be spotted at the 11-yard line.
I've seen enough 50s from Whitehouse over the years.
Yeah, we've seen.
They're paying us back, because we used to hang 50 on them every year.
Yeah, it was.
Now they've decided to turn the table.
That's where the scoreboard is.
Yeah, this series has been a series of runs, really. There were a few years in the kind of the early 2010s when it was kind of one win after another, trading them off. But for the most part, this is a series of runs.
Well, I mean, I've got the records right here. I mean, this is the 32nd meeting between these teams, and tonight with this win, Whitehouse will even up at 16 and 16. 16 wins for Whitehouse, 16 for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So as long as those runs seem to be for Whitehouse back in the day, Jacksonville had just as long a run.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I
mean,
mentioned the running clock earlier, when I was referencing the Brookhill score, back in the in the earlier days of this rivalry, that clock was running against Whitehouse.
That's right. So this is going to even it up, 16 wins apiece for both of them.
So now a handoff straight ahead.
Gosh,
very close, and he may be in. Let's see, there's the signal. Touchdown, Wildcats. Flag on the play, though, so get that call. Offensive holding the call.
Well, I heard Kurt Powell, the defensive line coach for Jacksonville, getting on the officials, not on this particular series, but the previous one, about how, hey, they're tackling us. They're tackling us. Official looks straight ahead. At this point, come on. That's what he was thinking.
So 2:25 and counting here in regulation as Whitehouse moved back after the holding, but they're looking to punch in another. And we'll go down under 2 minutes, and just looks like that'll just about do it.
Yeah, they're just going to take a knee right here. And of course, it's third down, so 141 and counting.
So you'll run this one down as they'll run this one down probably as much as they can, take another knee, and then have a fourth down with a little bit of time left. But unfortunately, Jacksonville will just need to regroup before they head up to Crandall next week. Take on the Pirates. Another 5A squad. Another big challenge.
I'm going to check some scores here and just see how that one's coming out.
Inside of a minute to play in the game.
Boy, Sulphur Springs came back, but they lost 35-22 to Mount Pleasant. They made it a little bit more respectable. Crandall beats Kaufman 22-15.
So that's
Whitehouse, it looks like, Pine Tree looks like they'll win it over Lindale.
That's got to be the surprise of the week for me.
Me too.
Whitehouse will take the delay of game penalty.
So after the delay of game penalty is taken by Whitehouse, we'll have 30 seconds to go. And the clock reset, and they will not have to snap it again.
Well, that'll do it.
And so Jacksonville with a loss will drop to 0-2. Whitehouse with a victory will improve to 1-1. As Jacksonville will regroup and head to Crandall next week to take on the Pirates in week 3.
Coaches now leading their respective teams out for the post-game handshake. Saw something the other day, Aaron, that somebody suggested they should not do the handshake anymore. So that just leads to fights, and I say bull.
Well, I think that's
just crazy. You got to learn how to have sportsmanship.
If that's what's happening, I think coaches coaches should take that responsibility.
Yeah, that's
you don't take it out of the game because
that's one of those woke suggestions. I'm sorry.
Well,
shake hands like a man. And
absolutely.
This is what you're trying to teach young men, how to have
That's right.
sportsmanship. Win or lose, shake hands.
Yeah, so I can't co-sign that, and
no,
it
didn't go anywhere. But it's one of those posts that some people make to see. Maybe they just did it to get a reaction. So both teams have shaken hands, and Coach Holman will speak to his team, and then we'll have the All Smiles post-game interview with Coach Holman. Let's give out some awards, guys. We talked about it earlier, but the bone crusher here to the game, we have not done this in a while. It goes to the kicker, Jesus Nunez.
Yeah, and he not only did he lay that bone crusher hit of the game on the first kickoff, he also took a couple of shots at Jesus, and he got right back up and stayed in the ball game.
So the bone crusher hit of the game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar. He's a JHS class of 1984. He's your hometown chiropractor and a pretty good linebacker for Jacksonville back in the day. Guys, the congratulations play of the game, I don't think there's any question about that. I think, I've got to go look at my records, but I think it is a Jacksonville high school record for the longest kickoff return in Jacksonville history. Jermaine Taylor took that at the back of the end zone. I got to look at the film. He may have been 9 yards deep in the end zone. I got to look at it. But he scored, so that is the congratulations play of the game. Congratulations can personalize trophies for you, create special recognition items for banquets. Maybe you want to preserve a special photo or create signage for your business. Congratulations can do it for you. They're your hometown awards and engraving store. Okay, offensive player of the game, it's got to be Zeke Whitaker. I think he stepped up and made some catches that we are expecting him to make as a junior after being on the varsity as a sophomore. He did a good job tonight taking some of the pressure off Jermaine as they started to double him. Zeke Whitaker is your Austin Bank player of the game. All right, guys, I need some help with the defensive player of the game. We gave up 51 points.
Yeah, we did do that. But
so I'm trying to think here.
Talking about a guy that impacted multiple plays, though, and for me, that's Drew Giles.
Yeah, it's
you
Drew
talk about
Giles, and I'm going to code that. I'm going to code that with Jordan Dorsey.
Yeah.
Because Jordan put some pressure on the quarterback a few times. He made some plays. So let's do this. The co-defensive players of the game, sponsored by Austin Bank, Drew Giles, who also got a touchdown pass, by the way.
Yes, he did.
And the junior Jordan Dorsey. 2 juniors there. They're the co-defensive players of the week. Austin Bank is your community bank, locally owned and operated since 1900. Appreciate Dark Chiropractic. Congratulations, and Austin Bank for sponsoring all of our plays of the game. And while Coach Holman is tending to his team and talking to them, they're going to have their prayer. Guys, we didn't do the trivia question. Ryan,
we did not. If Ryan's got it, we've got a little bit of time here.
All right. What high school has the highest all-time? What did I do that last week?
Lowest.
Oh, it's the lowest all-time percentage.
Last year. I mean, last week it was highest.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The lowest high. Okay, it's the lowest. Give them to me because I don't have them on my sheet here, and I know what it is.
So A is San Antonio Memorial, B is Brownsville Porter, C is Houston Scarborough, and D is North Dallas High.
It is B.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it out there. It's B.
Yeah, well, and those are 4 teams that have struggled. I mean,
should I have negative trivia?
Yeah,
like that?
I don't know.
People might not like that.
I think Scarborough, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but I think that Scarborough got into the playoffs
0-10
a few years ago at 0-10.
They did,
and it was the first time they've been in the playoffs in forever.
Let me get Coach Holman here.
Where are we looking here?
Oh, we're going to look this way. Coach, I know you want to get out of here. This is just, your assessment, a step backwards. He played so good last week. That's a good football team, man. You said they were good. They were more physical tonight.
They're a good football team. We made them about 40 points better than what they are. But, I just told them I can't explain it. Just a complete flop, all phases of the game. Sometimes you give an exerted effort, and you come up flat the week after. You don't want it to result in that, obviously. We got more fight in us than what we showed tonight.
So many times, Coach, you'd start a drive and you would get to the 50. 3 times I counted where you looked like you had something going, and then all of a sudden it's 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10. You just couldn't get over that hump. And after the first big play, they pressed coverage. You got some slants that worked, and just couldn't connect on when you needed to and getting the ball further past midfield.
Yeah, we never could get our running game going, and that was a huge part of their success defensively. Like I said, one of those you can't explain. We'll just have to regroup and come back. We're much better than what we showed tonight. There's no doubt.
So. I don't think there's any question about that. This is just one of those times where you just feel like you're can't explain it. It's time to move on, go start the bus, and let's go home. But, by the way, Crandall beat Kaufman 22-15. So that's where you're headed next week. Crandall's another 5A program, a good program. You played the last few years. Getting ready and regroup and go up there next week.
Yeah, they've got a good program and got a good team. Obviously, we know what we're facing there with that kind of score coming from Kaufman. So it's another game we ought to be in with a chance to win it. We'll show up and play.
Yeah, biggest shocker tonight that I saw, Pine Tree beat Lindale.
Yeah. Well, we saw some people score some points on Lindale in some scrimmages.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know they're kind of regrouping defensively a little bit themselves.
Well, Coach, not a great way to leave, but I know you'll have the guys ready to go next week. It's going to be an interesting week of practice. A lot to talk about, a lot to get done.
Well, and that brings up a point you mentioned with Pine Tree and Lindale. Anything is possible. You set your mind to do it.
Yeah.
We've just got to decide we want to play, and we want to play for 4 quarters, and we didn't do it tonight.
Yep. Coach, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Head Coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview. We appreciate All Smiles sponsoring all of our conversations with Coach Holman. Guys, that's a wrap, and I don't know if you've ever seen a little black car scoot out of here faster than mine, but it's about to happen.
Well, thanks, Matt. We'll wrap this up shortly with our post-game stats wrap-up brought to you by Randy Gorham, CPA. And unfortunately, not a lot of fun numbers to talk about tonight. Todd, Travis, as the Fighting Indians fall here 51-19. And I suppose a breakdown is in order.
Indians finished the game with 23 carries for a total of 30 yards rushing, had 12 completions for 212 yards receiving tonight, and
technology is great except for when it isn't.
Yeah, it's a little. My setup is different than what I'm used to.
That's
so
right.
We're trying to figure out how to transition, but leading rusher tonight was D.D. Maris, 6 carries for 22 yards. Jaden Boyd had 5 carries for 9. Reese Hicks had 5 carries for 4 yards. Josh Gaskin had 3 carries for 2 yards. Passing tonight, McAllen finished with 13 completions on 32 attempts for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception. And our leading receiver tonight was Zeke Whitaker, 5 catches for 94 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, Ryan Zeke really sort of had his coming out party tonight for Jacksonville. I mean, a guy who we knew could feature into this offense, but I mean, really stepped up. It's obviously hard to say that anybody really really stars in a ball game that where the score ends up like it is.
Yeah,
but you can take positives from any ball game, and especially early season non-district ball games, and if you're Zeke Whitaker, you got to feel pretty good about the way you've played. Obviously, it's a team sport, and we'll have to see a team effort next week in Crandall. But your thoughts on Zeke tonight?
A really good game from Zeke, and we did see him some last year, but Devin McCune was such a spotlight in the Jacksonville offense last year that kind of him and Jermaine and even Coda at times were kind of overshadowed by just how much Devin touched the ball. But, really good showing from Zeke tonight, kind of taking some pressure off Jermaine, too. It's good to have 2 weapons out wide for Jacksonville, and really good showing for Zeke, and looking forward to more of that for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And so, Todd, I know I may have cut you off there as you were going down. It's just
let's catch
one
the
we
other
wanted to highlight for sure.
Jermaine had 4 catches for 76 yards. Drew Dials 2 catches for 22 and a touchdown, and Jaden Boyd 1 for 20.
Yeah, and of course Jermaine with that kickoff return for the ages, and again, I mean, it's not one that's going to stand out in terms of the scoreboard or anything like that, but what it does show is you've got a guy he's just a weapon, Ryan. I mean, he's in Jermaine.
It was a tremendous play.
It was.
We had the penalty.
Yeah.
So we gave him the kickoff from the 45.
That's right.
Whitehouse was not intending for that, and they're kicking it out of the end zone.
Right.
Deep.
I mean,
you're not supposed to run it back, but of all people to kick it to, you don't kick it to Jermaine.
Right. And, of course, you heard, I think Matt had the actual audible reaction of, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yes.
And because that's your first thought there is that's not one that you run out. But, 108, 109 yards later or whatever the official number ends up being, Ryan, we've got a new record. So
we do. Just an outstanding play from Jermaine. I when he caught it that deep in the end zone, I too did not think he was going to run it out. And then I saw him going forward, and I was like, "Oh, surely he'll take a knee before he makes it out." No, he just just took off, and I don't know if maybe there even was some benefit from having the kickoff so short, where the Whitehouse would be a little more compact, and so if he could get through a couple guys,
the way the lanes
he's got lots of room compact to run,
to create the lanes. So.
Yeah. Well, so that was certainly. Of course, as Matt handed out the award earlier, the play of the game. But, that was the highlight in an otherwise forgettable ball game, unfortunately, one that the Indians will have to put behind them pretty quick and just get to work this week as they get ready to make the trip up 175 to take on the Crandall Pirates next week. And they'll just need to regroup and refocus in order to give that game their best shot, and so we hope they can do that, and we hope that you'll join us for that 7:30 kickoff. We'll plan to be live again with our 6:45 countdown to kickoff from Crandall's Pirate Stadium. I believe,
and the stands.
I was going to say, I believe we'll be in the stands next week, but we'll make it work. But for now, this is Aaron Swink for Matt Montgomery, Todd Travis, and Ryan Travis saying thanks for tuning in for Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live. Enjoy the rest of your Labor